Static Selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you.
Static Selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on you.
You look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
You look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
You look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
Yeah.
You look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
Yeah.
You look at the evidence,
Summer of 1995.
you'll see the truth.
Hot night in July. Why did Janet have to die? This
You
is
look
the
at the
story of
evidence,
Eddie. Commonwealth of
you'll see the
Massachusetts.
truth.
The system is petty. Juvenile law and politics so
You
deadly.
look at the evidence,
15 years old, known as Big Lovable Teddy. Janet Downing, 42 years old. What's the motive? Killed in her home, young mother devoted. Eddie went in the house, the door was open. She was on the kitchen floor, laying there frozen. Eddie claims this was not what he planned to see. A man with a mask grabbed him. Be quiet. I will kill your whole family. Eddie left the house, ran up the street. Around the corner, washed up in the bathroom at Burger King. Janet was stabbed multiple times. Rest in peace. It was a gruesome murder scene. I agree. Eddie went to his work, said he got jumped, but never said a thing. What? About Janet lying there lifeless. His friend's mother from across the street. Shh. He was in the house. But Janet had a brother-in-law she kicked out for selling drugs. Said if anything ever happened to her, it's him you bring up. The night of the murder he showed up, was acting suspicious in the front yard. Gina in Virginia says he was looking for his keys. It was humid and muggy, but we were showered and neat. He was a cab driver looking for his keys.
I went in about 4 or 5 hours after to get the kitty litter box and the kitten.
Did you kill Janet Downing?
absolutely not.
So you're adamant you didn't kill Janet
Very
Downing.
adamant. And if you really look at the evidence, you'll see the truth.
What's the truth?
The truth is that I didn't do anything.
That's all.
I was always under the impression that I was going to testify and I was going to tell my story.
Why didn't you?
Well, it was almost the last day of the trial when I was just told, don't worry, they didn't prove their case, so you don't have to testify. At the end of the day, this place really doesn't matter. This isn't reality. Reality is out there where my family and friends are. I don't even think about my past. I try not to look too far ahead, but I am hopeful. I will tell you that. If you look at the evidence.
Once again, and it don't stop. It is Friday night. It is the 21st of November of 2025, and I go by the name of J.F.K.
And we are here.
Absolutely. And you know how this goes, right? If you got to carry on, please put it in the overhead compartment. If you have a backpack with you, please slide it underneath the seat. But before you do, take out your Cliff Bars, your Hershey's, Kisses, your Nips, your vapes, whatever your vice might be, because I'm about to take you up to 39,000 feet. Put your trays up. Remember, turbulence in the chat keeps the plane rocking. We got goals in different area codes, as you can see. Populate them goals, and let's get the conversation moving.
Go.
We got Jimmy T up in the building tonight. What up, Jimmy T? Jay Brilliant is here. Justice for Eddie and Janet, for sure, for sure. And tonight, I have some footage that is going to blow your mind. Courtesy, once again, I need peace signs up for my girl, Becky G. Becky G with the peace signs, please. Becky G, she's working too. Together, we collabed, and we came up with some stuff, and we were digging, and we found some stuff that's going to blow your mind. Unfortunately, I got to break it down into different parts because it was so long, and it's hard to put it to the StreamYard. It's got to be like 3 minutes. So I broke it down into different sections. But I will be releasing a mini documentary on this whole thing, like I did with past videos that you've seen, like on Read Between the Lines, my playlist. And if you're not familiar with that, go to my playlist right now, Read Between the Lines, and check out the type of work that I do, or just scroll down my video section and see how I do things. For sure. What's going on, Kevy Kev? We are here. How we feeling?
We're feeling good, man. Friday night. Gonna rock it out.
I mean, it's only right to
here.
It's only right to set it off like this, though, right? Oh, whoa, goddamn! How we doing, people? Here we go.
I just wanna chill and twist the lie, catch stunts in my 745. You drive me crazy, shorty. I need to see you and feel you next to me. I provide everything you need, and I like your smile. I don't wanna see you cry. Got some questions that I gotta ask, and I hope you can come up with the answers, baby. Girl, hey, it's easy to love me now. Hey, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Girl, it's easy to love me now. Now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? If I got locked up and to a quarter century, could I count on you to be there to support me mentally? If I went back to a hoopty from a Benz, would you poof and disappear like some of my friends? If I was hit and I was hurt, would you be by my side? If it was time to put in work, would you be down to ride? I get out and peel a brother cap, chill and dry. I'm asking questions to find out how you feel inside. If I ain't rap cause I flip burgers at Burger King, would you be ashamed to tell your friends you're feeling me? In the bed, if I use my tongue, would you like that? If I wrote you a love letter, would you write back? Now we could have a little drink, you know, a nightcap, and we could go do what you like. I know you like that. Girl, it's easy to love me now. Oh, now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Girl, it's easy to love me now. Woo. Would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? Now would you leave me if your father found out I was thugging? Do you believe me when I tell you you the one I'm loving? Are you mad cause I'm asking you 21 questions? Are you my soulmate? Cause if so, girl, you a blessing. Do you trust me enough to tell me your dreams? I'm staring at you trying to figure how you got in them jeans. If I was down, would you say things to make me smile?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Turbulence in the chat. Turbulence in the chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Boston.
Static
Turbulence in the
selected.
chat. Turbulence in the chat.
Boston. Can you hear me? 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you hear me?
Static selected.
Yeah.
We're working too.
Boston.
I mean, my man had to run across 3
Yeah.
We're working too.
Boston.
I mean, my man had to run across 3 lanes.
Can you hear me?
Static selected.
Yeah. Boston. Can you hear me?
Turbulence in the chat.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Boston.
Static selected.
Yeah.
Static selected.
Boston. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Like, can you look at this from both sides? If it comes out that she actually did it, are you ready to like?
You sound like Higgins.
Yeah.
You wrong.
I'm starting with the man in the middle.
Yes, 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 yes. Turbulence in the chat keeps it playing rock. And thank you, Lisa McDonald, Cynthia Lynch. She loves it here. Chilling in New Hampshire says, goals. Renee says, justice for Eddie and Janet. Becky G, once again, hey, JFK, Kevy Kev, take us up to 39. We got 5 JFK memberships for sure, for sure, for sure. Appreciate everybody hitting us with that turbulence early on takeoff. Appreciate that. And of course, E-Pags coming through. Thank God it's Friday for
Man.
sure. E-Pags, thank you so much. And remember, we want to see everybody in that green.
Static selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, Mass. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on me. We all reppin' for Boston, Mass. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on me.
Yes. Gifted memberships. Want to see everybody in the green. It's AGE Jay Brilliant coming through with 5 JFK memberships. And you know, Jay Brilliant, he's working too. Big shout out to Jay Brilliant behind the scenes. You know, he's part of the show, the man behind the scenes. Jimmy T is here. So, you know, we keep talking about the situation with Eddie, and we're trying to come to an understanding. A lot of people are saying that Eddie is 100% not guilty and he should be free, and that other people did this crime. A couple of names come to mind. One would be obviously the one that they've been saying from day one, the family. Day one is a guy named Artie. Artie drove a cab. He showed up to the scene that night in a cab. He says that he made it up the street and took a right onto Hamlet Street. And he was there during the murder scene when other people testified that the whole street, Boston Street, was blocked off, especially around that time, and they wouldn't let anybody come up that street. He couldn't have came up Hamlet Street, even though it's a two-way, because his car was parked the opposite direction, pointing down the hill, which means he must have came up Boston Street. Got caught up in some lies. He said he could just back up Hamlet Street and bang a 3-point turn because it wasn't as packed as people are saying. But if he would have done that, God damn, Kevy Kev coming through with some loud ass turbulence. If he would have done that, he would have backed up onto Boston Street. It wouldn't have been backing down Hamlet Street because, like I said, he was faced down Hamlet, not faced up Hamlet like the way you're supposed to park. You're supposed to be faced up Hamlet. So he said he could just back up and bang a 3-point turn and go back down Hamlet. Well, if he would have backed up, he would have been on Boston Street to the top where Janet Dowden's house was. So that's a big lie. That is a big lie. That is a lie. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. I don't know, Adi. I know you're out there watching. You watch us every night. How we doing, Adi? We doing all right? Hope everything is well, because two things could be true. One, you could just be a big fat liar, right? And two, Eddie could be the killer. So be clear, Adi. We're not saying that you're the killer. We're just trying to understand why you're lying 30 years later. And what's the reason for it? And that's why we're peeling the layers back. And our audience, obviously, they have their own take on it. And some people are thinking that you had everything to do with this. Some people don't. So, Adi, I don't know why you're being, if you're out there watching, I don't know why you're being radio silent, so to speak, right now, because you were so quick to
you had a
jump.
lot to say.
You had a lot to say at one time, for sure. But the main lie was, everybody, is that he said 30 years later. So we found out that Gina Mahoney had cats. She had a tiger cat. She had a white cat, a brown cat. She had 3 cats or something like that. She had a guinea pig and some rabbits. So she had a zoo going on over there. The only thing that she was missing was a skunk. But, you know, she had some shit going on over there. So it's possible that Janet got cat hair on her from hanging with Janet that day. I mean, hanging with Gina that day. Okay. You're right about that. That's definitely could be a possibility. I totally get all that. But the only problem with that is that Artie lied to us and said he went in the house to go get the cat litter in the kitten. Keep in mind, there was no kitten. There was no cat litter. In 30 years of this case is a woman named Margot Nash. She has a book called Politics of Murder. You guys can go buy that right now on Amazon and learn all about this case. Everything you need to know is in that book. Everything you need to know is in that book. If you go buy that book right now and you listen to it on the audio version of it, or if you want to read, do something that most people don't do anymore. You will learn some things. We had a woman up here called Thinking Deep. What was it called? What was she called last night? Seeking the what was she called?
Yes. Think.
Is she in the chat right now?
Thinking.
What was her name last night? She was on here. Think It
was-
Speaks. There we go. Think It Speaks. She is going through this book with a fine comb and she's figuring it all out and she's helping out. But she did say that the defense, I just want to be clear because our girl, What the Duck, and before we go any further, shout out all our mods here. Obviously, What the Duck, Norman Corey, Make It Changes if he's here, because Make It Changes doesn't work on the weekends, I don't think. And and Josie, she's on a vacation far away. She pops out. And of course, Natalie. Natalie's always here with us. I don't know if she's in the chat. I haven't seen her, but peace to all our mods are always helping us. But Mother Duck, What the Duck said, because Think and Speak said that the defense never tried to run the D to match it to anybody. They had the option to do it, and they didn't do it. What the Duck corrected that and told me, J.F.K., just to be fair, that they did try and the judge wouldn't let it in. And the judge said that they were going on a fishing expedition. So that's kind of crazy that a judge wouldn't let them test the DNA underneath Janet's fingernails. That's a big problem. For sure.
You know, and I'll tell you, I mean, I've been, I've gotten some new documents in regards to, you know, Riley. You know, number one, I mean, we're talking about, you know, the DA of that district, and you know, just kind of unheard of to have to see this DA want to take on this case full force and head on himself. You know, it raises red flags. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just kind of unheard of, and you know, you can definitely tell by what I've been combing through that, you know, he was pushing, you know, what he wanted to push, and there was no pushback on him at all. I mean, you know, he was the one making all these decisions for, you know, the test results. He was the one making all these decisions for letting certain statements come in. The third party culprit. I mean, he was just, you know, he had so much pushback with this that it's just unheard of, you know. And I brought up the other night that there was a discrepancy with, you know, a jury member, juror number 6. He was friends. He worked with Paul Sr. All right. And I mean, it took the one of Eddie's, you know, previous lawyers to come forth and speak on this because she had a bad conscience on it. I mean, this shit's just unheard of. I mean, just that there alone with a tainted jury member, you know, another big red flag. Another big red flag.
Indeed. What up, Jimmy T? Can you come up here or what, man? We got Jimmy T.
Jimmy?
We got Jimmy in the. He got his dog in his left hand. He's driving with his right hand. He's probably drinking a coffee with his toes. What are you doing? Put the dog down, Jimmy. Will you? Goddamn.
Goddamn.
Gotta put the fucking dog down, man.
How's she doing? How's she doing, bro?
Is Jimmy coming up tonight, Barrels?
Absolutely not.
God damn. Is Jimmy ever going to come back up here?
Absolutely not.
Oh, damn, Barrels. Why you say that?
Damn.
Oh, man.
How y'all feel out there?
Oh, yeah. All right. Check this out. Is the place to be, as it is plain to see. He is DJ
Static Selector.
and I am
Marty, I got a question. What is wrong with you?
What is wrong?
Yeah, throw Jimmy a link. Jimmy, man, if you can, man, come on up, man.
What am I? What is that? What I do? I just throw people links. That's what I do. I just do what everybody tells me to do. Is that how this goes?
Yeah. God damn no.
I got you, Jimmy. I got you. I got you. Oh man, yeah. So it's I mean, I'm getting so many.
You know, I just want to thank everybody too for showing up, man. You know, like you did say one thing in the beginning of the show, like and it might speak on what you just said about so many text messages, but tons of people have been just
Jimmy never texted
they've
me,
been
man. He never texted me. You said you text me. You didn't text me. Sorry, bro.
God. These a lot of people in the chat, they're working, man. They're inundated with this case. They want answers. They're doing some fine combing. I mean, I'll tell you, man, I just see a lot of people getting involved, and I think it's amazing because, at the end of the day, I mean, if we're not speaking on it, who is? You know what I'm saying? I believe that the O'Briens, they've needed a platform to speak on this and try to reach just the public eye. What better time? I say that, not because it's 30 years later, but what better time, to have people get, united like this because of what we've seen in the past couple of years with a few other trials and, just some faulty work, some shambles with a lot of these, this Massachusetts State Police, the internal corruption that's going on in some of these counties, man. I just, this shit got to stop, man. We gotta, keep digging with this and finding out all these little fuck ups, man, and just, and bring it up and speak on it.
Indeed. I showed up, Kev, but it was ugly. I showed up, Kev, but it was ugly. Hope you are well, my friend. I don't know what that means. You know what that means?
What up?
I showed up.
I showed up. For sure.
I don't know what that means, though. What does that mean? I showed up, Kev, but it was ugly. Hope you are well, my friend. Frank gifted 1 J.F.K. membership. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you. Love to my Laura. Jamie, we love the O'Briens. They've been so gracious sharing their story. They should adopt us all. Well, there we have it. Well, let's go over some stuff. I sent Jimmy a link. If he pops in, he pops in. If not, it's all good. Let's break it down.
Of blood. What?
Hold on a second. That doesn't start that way. I got to start it off the right way. I'm about to hit you guys. I need y'all to strap in. Do you guys have your popcorn ready?
It's Judge Gailey.
Let's go.
Do you guys have your popcorn ready, people? Before we start this off, I need to see y'all red in the chat. Before we start this off, I need to see y'all red in the chat. And if you didn't know what all red means, it means this is a disclaimer. And if you don't know what I said because my accent's too strong, this is a disclaimer. A disclaimer.
Let's go, people.
Need to see red in the chat. Throw your X's up while you're doing it. Let's go. Disclaimer.
Shit, I can dim the lights for this. God damn. The movie's about to start. Let's go, people.
I need everybody to pay attention to what's going on with these clips we're about to play. And this is a disclaimer because this is some deep shit. This is in the moment of 1995. I want everybody to be unbiased. I want everybody to look at what you see, what you feel inside your heart after you see all this in the moment. This is in the moment in time. In 1995, I'm taking you back in the time machine. Let's go, people.
Judge Gailey is predisposed to people in the same position as Mr. O'Brien, that Department of Youth Services cannot adequately treat him even if he was found amenable to treatment due to his age.
Your Honor, respectfully, there is absolutely no merit to this petition. This is nothing more than a last-minute effort to delay the transfer hearing.
Riley won this one, motion denied. Edward O'Brien, now 17, will be back in court on Monday before Judge Gailey, who will decide whether he should be tried as an adult or a juvenile. O'Brien's charged with...
Hey, Judge Gailey. What's up, buddy? They call you Guilty Gailey, huh? Well, we're in the future, and you're in the past. You know what we think about you? Just to let you know what we think about you, Gailey. Clown! You didn't think in 2025 you're going to get called a clown, huh, Gailey?
You are a clown! A clown!
I don't know what you're doing nowadays, buddy.
You are a clown! A clown!
Well, welcome to the future.
O'Brien's charged with murdering 42-year-old Janet Downey nearly 2 years ago. Despite today's setback, the defense is ready to move forward.
Judge Gailey's an experienced justice. I don't want to say Ed O'Brien can't get a fair shake, but this is something that needed to be done, needed to be brought to this court's attention.
For the families of both Edward...
Damn, Eddie Big Ed little Ed looks just like Big Ed.
Yeah.
Twinning right there.
Yep.
That's a young Big Ed right there. 30 years ago. There he is. Eddie, Big Ed, there he is. What up, Ed? But I'll tell you, all jokes aside, this is a lot of pain that these people went through, man, going back and forth to these courthouses for this bullshit.
O'Brien and Janet Downey, it starts all over again on Monday.
You do get weary, that's for sure. But you have to persevere. This is the system. So you learn to adjust. But you do get weary.
If this is what we have to do to get justice, then this is the proper procedure that we're taking. And eventually, hopefully, justice will be the end result.
I think that's Janet's family. I don't know if that's his brother, her brother or something. Big Ed's in the chat. If he's in the chat, he could tell us. But it's definitely her family. It's Janet's brother. Well, and he was going through some serious pain too. What's going on over there with all that noise, man? You can't make that noise go away? God damn.
It's a 747 flying over me, bro. I can't do much about that.
All right, so this is the disclaimer, people. This is a disclaimer. I'm going to mute you up for a second. This is a disclaimer. This is the funeral services of Janet Downey. This is a sad... This is everything you need to know right now of how real this shit is. Let me tell you something. The way Janet died was horrible. And in 1995, this was her funeral. This is real shit. This is as close as you're going to get to understanding and understanding the feelings that they were feeling back in 1995. I'm trying to bring you all the way back. I'm trying to touch that nostalgia button. I want you to be locked in to this space and time.
Friends neighbors and family of Janet Downing arrived.
Look at that funeral, though.
Arrived at St. Joseph's Church this morning, no closer to understanding the tragic circumstances that brought them here, and still seeking answers to the not-so-simple question, why?
Everybody's looking for answers. Everybody.
That's what makes this all the more frustrating?
Yes.
Though haunted by such a brutal death, today they filled the church to celebrate Janet Downing's life, not its tragic end. This is the church where she was baptized just 4 years ago. Her neighbor, Eddie O'Brien, the murder suspect, was an altar boy at that ceremony.
And as difficult as the circumstances of her death are, and they're so vivid and so real and so horrible to us, she died for reasons known only to others.
The reasons are still not clear.
Especially when you live like around the corner from him. And it's like you don't expect it from a friend.
So large family, as you can see, and I mean, she was just touched everybody in her family totally.
The family is an extended one of Somerville neighbors, torn by their affection for the O'Briens as well.
We're going to rally and we're going to pull together and we're all going to be fine.
We're all entangled in this web of sadness. And
well, you know what, brother? 30 years later, we're still entangled in this web of sadness. 30 years later, I see that Chevy celebrity in back of you. Times changed. The vehicle's changed. But one thing that hasn't changed is integrity, loyalty, life, death. And 747's going over Kev's house. Poor guy.
I just hope we can all pull it off. That's why I chose Let There Be Peace on Earth at the end, too. You know, like, hopefully we can mend this.
It's been said Janet Downing's life was her 4 children, and from them came the final prayer.
Our mother was
I gotta go to the next video, guys. Give me a second. Boom, boom.
And he did what he had to do.
That's not it. There's Janet right there getting taken away. And there was more to that prayer. She said that heaven was the only place that could hold her. It got cut off. But like I said, I will be doing a video on this. And I want you guys to populate that video. And I want you to circulate the video. Because live streams, you know, there's only so many replays on the live streams. So when I drop the video and I put all the pieces together of all the points we've been talking about, I need y'all to populate it because it's going to be a nice piece. I'm working on that right now. But
that can hold her.
There goes Janet down the street. Janet down in 1995 getting taken away. How crazy is that?
We don't get many cases as brutal as this.
A year ago tonight, Janet Downing was found brutally murdered in her Somerville home, stabbed nearly 100 times.
When I look back a year ago today, a woman alone in her own home, defenseless, just brutally murdered. It's a terrible tragedy. It's certainly a tragedy for the family, a tragedy for that entire neighborhood.
Arrested for the killing was 15-year-old neighbor Edward O'Brien, the best friend of Downing's son. An altar boy and grandson of the former Somerville police chief, he stands charged with murder.
It's a sad thing that happened. I knew both families very well. I worked with the grandfather as chief of police. So, all nice people. How this happened and why this happened.
I take it that this guy's not around no more, right? I would assume that he's not alive no more, just because he was, how old do you think he was right there?
I mean, I would say he was at least in his 80s.
So, yeah, he's not around no more. So, R.I.P. this gentleman. And that's so crazy, you know what I mean? Like, some of these people are just not around no more, man. or they're just, they're our age. They're in their 40s, or some of them are in their 70s, or their 80s. So R.I.P.
Yeah.
this gentleman. Hopefully, man, he is living. Hopefully you beat the odds, though. I don't know how old you were, but yeah, probably late 70s. Yeah, so 30. Now he's not. I don't think he's around. I don't think he's around. R.I.P. Sir. I don't know who you are, but goddamn.
God
It's a puzzle
damn.
to me.
The murder stunned this close-knit Somerville neighborhood. To this day, the O'Briens and some other residents keep essays posted on trees that profess O'Brien's innocence.
So this is 1995. They're writing essays in the moment, people. In the moment, they're writing essays. You want to speak to any of this? That what you just seen? You seen the funeral. You seen what's going on. This is crazy. Like we're in that space of time. It's 1995. Here we are. What's going on? What's on your mind, Kevy Kev?
I mean, it's a shock for the community, is what I'm seeing. It's just a shock. You're talking about two families that were well known on that street. Not only the parents, but the kids. You got the groups, the two families. That the kids were very close with each other. Just the neighborhood alone. You're talking about people that are, sitting out on the porch. You think of the Halloweens, you think of the Christmases, you think of the snowball fights, you think of, building snow forts, playing kickball. I mean, just everybody got together, and that's what it seemed like. I mean, they also were, they were members of that parish. They had a religious connection as well. It's just a shame the way, that community got split, with believing one thing and believing another, and maybe people had a hard time speaking on it because they knew both sides of the family.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage. We got Jimmy T from the LYNN. He's going to break down some Rule 30s. He's going to break down how he feels. This is a guy that's been through it. Jimmy T is well known, OG in the game. Let's go. Give it up. Peace signs up for Jimmy T. Jimmy T, my man.
What up? What up?
What's up, brother?
What up, Jimmy?
Glad to have you here, man.
Yeah, man. Talking shit about my puppy though.
Everybody's here. Peace signs everywhere for you, Jimmy. Nothing but love in it. Nothing but love for you and him.
That's what's up, man.
They
How you
love
guys
you,
doing
buddy.
tonight?
You know what we're doing.
Good.
We working. We working too.
There you are.
So Jimmy, you've been hearing, you've been seeing, you know about this case, right? Even way back in the day, we all heard about this case throughout the system and throughout the streets. And there was the rumor that he didn't do it, and this one did it, and it was even a rumor that his dad did it. I heard at one time, right? And you were in the system. Did you ever do time with Eddie? Did you ever bump heads with him?
No, I didn't. I never was on a yard with him, man. I always heard about him though.
So
I always
what
heard
was it
good
like?
things about him.
So you heard good things about him. So like, what can you
Yeah.
like? Explain to me what good things mean when you're inside on the yard. What's that mean? How's that work?
Oh, I mean, like, you'd be outside, whatever, hanging out in the yard, and dudes would be telling stories about like shit that happened up the max or in another prison, and his name would come up. And if someone else didn't, I'd be like, yeah, but that dude's got a bad case, man. He's all right with you guys. And they'd be like, he didn't do that, man. And then and just have me like, because I read that, I had been in the law libraries at that point and seen his his direct appeal from the SJC, and I'd be walking away thinking in my head, yeah, they're fucking nuts. They're just trying to hide, hide the hide the dirt. But I don't know, man. Since you started doing this case, bro, I kind of I can't say kind of. I definitely believe at the very least, one thing is for sure, he didn't get a fair trial. Very least. I'm on the fence with the guilt or innocence still, to be honest. I mean, keeping it real. Just because of the two things, the one thing in the house and then the robbery thing. Kind of
What's the
stuck
one?
there.
What's the one thing in the house? Like what is it that jumps
When the
out and
guy
grabs you?
when the guy said when he says the guy said, now I'm gonna kill you whole. If don't shut that door, you don't shut the door, and then was like threatening him he was gonna kill his family or whatever. And then coincidentally, like a few minutes later, he gets robbed, and they he says, now they said, now I saw your face, now I gotta cut you. It's possible. It's so possible, man. It's just such a coincidence. It's
Shooting
just you
shooting
know.
informants, not drugs. He was roommates with Jimmy. He was up in Norfolk. I don't know his name, and it's only fair shooting informants, not drugs. We don't know your name. I don't know if Jimmy wants to throw his government up there, but Jimmy's usually doesn't care about throwing his government out there. But
Yeah,
Jimmy
man.
T,
Jimmy T and from LYNN, man. I absolutely throw my government out there. They know yours. I'm not
God,
hiding.
Jimmy T from the LY double. Let's go.
God damn, Jimmy.
There you have it.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
know him.
hiding.
Yeah, but
But I was roommates with you. Ah, damn, I
no,
don't
no,
think I knew
no,
who you were.
no. You weren't roommate. He was roommates with shooting informants, not drugs. Was roommates with Eddie, and
In
he
Norfolk.
asked. Yeah. He asked what your
Yeah,
name was.
I wasn't there with Eddie. Eddie got there after me. I was there in Norfolk. I went from the mods down in the small field to unit 4-2, and I was in 4-2 until I left between 2001 and 2004. I think I left there, but Eddie wasn't there yet. He must have came there afterwards.
So Eddie's at Gardner. What, you been to Gardner?
Yeah, I was at Gardner for a few years. I was in G2 the whole time.
What's that about? That place?
Man, that's the best place. They say Norfolk's the best, bro, but that's unless you've been to Gardner. Gardner's the only thing that's different in Gardner is you can't cook, but you can't buy chicken and like pancakes and ice cream and all that stuff, but you can definitely sit in the gardens, bro, until 9 o'clock at night and just feel like you're not even in prison, or play horseshoes, or it's a much more relaxed place. Smaller, but it's relaxed. I liked it. I caught a court case there. Hunter bailed me out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wrapped up with a case, and J.F.K bailed me out, man. Came
Oh
up and
okay.
got me.
Wow. So here you go, right? What's it gonna take for the DNA, Jimmy, right, to get ran? Like, how does that's just not a simple thing, right? That has to go through a process, right?
Yeah, it's a tough sell, man. So I was kind of telling you a little behind the scenes, but um, so Eddie had his direct appeal, which was so every first degree murder conviction in Massachusetts gets automatically looked at. It's called Chapter 278, Section 33E, I think, off the top of my head, that they review everything for errors on the record. So if it wasn't on the record, then they wouldn't look at it. Like if it was just like probably all the transfer hearings, all the most pretrial motions, and then anything during the trial, all the objections and all the rulings that the courts made. So anything on record, that's what 278-33E looks at. But if he wants to get anything else in, like newly discovered evidence, or try to get the judge to test the DNA, that's a different avenue. That's called a motion for new trial, and it's Rule 30. It's either A for unlawful restraint, or B, motion for a new trial for undiscovered evidence, like newly discovered evidence. And you gotta you gotta make a judge believe that you have compelling evidence to for him to make an order to test that DNA. You know, that's what Eddie's team's probably working on, if I had to guess. I mean, I don't know for sure, but they're probably in the middle of right now writing post conviction motions for under Rule 30 to like have evidentiary hearings, and they'll ask for a hearing. They'll try to convince a judge that they want all this stuff tested, and it'll
Do
go
they
from
go?
there.
Do they go in front of one judge at first?
They go in front of a Rule 30 goes in front of your original trial judge, but if they retired or something happened to them where they're not a judge anymore,
That judge
they
died, right? The judge
yeah,
died.
he died in 2017. So they'll reassign the case to a judge, and then one judge will look at it with fresh eyes,
In
and
Superior Court.
yes, in Superior Court. And then if it gets denied there, then he's got the appellate process all over again. And this time it doesn't skip the appeals court. It goes to the appeals court. If they deny it, they'll put what's called a motion for further appellate review to the SJC. And if they take it, then they'll look at it. And if God forbid if they denied it, then you go up the ladder to the federal court, and you start in the district court, and like they call them 2254s or 2255s, and go up to the into the federal appeals court, and then it climbs all the way up to they call it SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, which sometimes they look at stuff, and most of the time they don't. But yeah, it's a hell of a process. But he's got a good man, a good. I mean, listen, man, I'm not easily convinced, because it's like I lived it, so I know how hard it is. But he's got a good shot, man. If anyone did, and the kid might be innocent, man. He might be.
Right.
Just because I can't get over those hurdles doesn't mean that he's not telling the truth. He could very well be telling the truth. I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying it's a tough hurdle to get over in the courts. You know.
Hmm. So how long does this process usually take, as far as the first time he gets back into Superior Court, the first step?
Oh, Jesus Christ! So if he gets back into Superior Court, it could be they. So so for instance, I filed the Rule 30 motion. The judge didn't answer it for 2 years. But that was just me. That was because I just couldn't shut up, was being sarcastic in the motions. But he's got professionals doing it, usually with real lawyers. They answer them. And then if he gets an answer on it, or if he gets hearings, that stuff will start up right away. You could see this stuff as early as a month or two away. Depends on when
Wow.
he files. You know,
Now,
the judge could rule that week, or he could take a year. You never know.
so let me ask you this, Jimmy. If he's seen who was in that house, right? Let me ask you. This is hypotheticals, right? If he right now was in jail and he said Adi did it, this is hypothetical, right? And you being
Yeah,
a convict, would you think he was a rat if he said Adi did it?
absolutely not.
You
Absolutely
would.
not. There's thousands of inmates upstate doing that right now. Third party culprit. Third party culprit. If listen, man, you've been doing 30 years. You've been doing 30 years for this. If this guy, if they tested Adi at this DNA and it came back to Adi, which I got a strong feeling it might, man. Um, come on, man. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody in the whole entire system that's gonna call Eddie a rat because he did that. There's no way, and I don't personally think it is either. And anyways, who gives a fuck if it is, man? He done enough time. He needs to go home. You know what I
There you
mean?
have There you
That's my
have it.
thoughts.
So now, another hypothetical, right? Another hypothetical. If this has no bearing, if him saying that I already did it has no bearing on the legal side, right? Does it have any bearing on the legal side? Like right now, if he started saying that, what does that affect the legal side of it?
But come with that again. I'm sorry. I was
Like,
looking at something in the chat.
no, I make sure I say the question right. What I'm saying is, if he's in there right now and he started saying Adi did it, or he like changed the story up, and if that's what he's doing, right? I don't know if he's doing that in his motion, but
Yeah.
if he turned around and he said, "Listen, it was Adi who put the knife up to my neck," would that hurt him going forward in these motions?
It would hurt him. It would hurt him with parole for sure, because they'd say he wasn't truthful at the hearing. But you're not asking that, so it would hurt him. Any change of a story, any change of the story or hiding of the truth is gonna hurt you. You know what I mean? No matter how major or minor it is, they're gonna use it against him. The district attorney would say, "Why would he keep all this in for 30 years, and now he's gonna finally tell
But they
us?"
kind of didn't
You know?
know. His mother and his father was in front of the court in 1997 and said Adi Ortiz did it. I mean, did they ever have?
Yeah.
And then he said on an interview while he was in Shirley that he never had a chance to get on the stand. I mean, is it possible, Jimmy? And I'll throw it back to you, Jim. Is it possible he never got a chance to say it?
Well, that is what happened. First of all, they wouldn't. The parents knew right on the courthouse steps. You're absolutely right about that. And in Eddie's defense, so in Eddie's defense, thinking from from a convict standpoint, if I was in prison with Eddie in the early years, right? So when he was at Walpole, if he turned around and said Eddie did it, first of all, yeah, that would be a rat. They'd all be calling him a rat for that. Probably behind his back, because the dude's a big dude.
Right.
But and he's got a lot of friends. But yeah, yeah, that would be bad. But in his defense, that could be why he didn't tell. I mean, if you put a 17-year-old kid in Walpole, dude, he's not going to turn around and say, "I know who did it," and just it's this dude, whether he's telling the truth or not. He's just not going to do that. He's stuck with maniacs. Back then, there were maniacs there in the 90s when he went there. You know,
Maniacs.
they were maniacs. I mean, even when I got there, it was a little calmed down. He went there and like when it was pretty much rocking still.
Yeah, 97. He went there during
Yeah,
the
that was
heydays,
scary
bro.
at that time.
Yeah, fucking right it was.
You know who knows him really good? Deke. Deke knows him good.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, Deke knows him. Hunter, all them dudes, they all know him. They were all up there with him at the max. And they might have been at Walpole with him too.
How about J-Rock? J-Rock must know him now if he was in
J-Rock
Norfolk.
definitely knows him. 100% knows him. J-Rock's in Shirley Medium right now, but he knows him.
Is he? What happened with him? He went back
I don't
on.
know.
He violated. Now he's in the
Yeah.
medium. So is
That's
he on his
so
way?
unfortunate.
Is he on his way back out the door again? You think? If
I
he's
have
in the
no
medium?
idea. I have no idea. No, well, he's always going to be in a medium unless he gets in trouble again. So he must have went through the max as a pro violator again, and then he went down to a medium because he got medium points.
He had 3 shots, bro, too, of that shit.
Had a life sentence, got parole 3 times, and fucked it up all 3 times for stupid shit too. Like what for? You know what it is for being stuck at the age he was when he went in. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Trying to catch up too fast, man.
Oh, you have a picture. So Stevie Knuckles and all them. So yeah, yeah, okay. Because I know
Amy
Knuckles.
John's my cousin. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Nux knows him too. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. All them dudes were up there with him.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, huh? Would you believe it? So you think, Jimmy? I know you got to get up early and all that, and I'm so happy
Oh,
that
it's all
you
right.
jumped.
I'll kick it for a while unless you want me to jump
No,
off.
no, hell no, bro. You know you're welcome here
It's
anytime,
Friday.
and
Yep.
and
No, I
say
know
and
that.
save this link too, because anytime you want to
Oh,
hop
okay.
on, you can hop on. So we
Oh,
got
it's the same one. Okay.
Margot Nash is in the chat if you want to say what up to her, Jimmy.
Oh, cool, man. Margot, yeah, she's awesome, man. I listened to her book straight through, going to work every morning. It takes me like an hour, and then I kick my seat back and for another hour when I get there just to drink my coffee and whatever, listen to your show and listen. I was stuck on her book for a while, and she made a lot of good points, man. She knows that case inside and out. Now let's talk about the cats. Can we talk about these cats? Because I think
Yeah.
that dude's
Oh,
got a
let's do
Go
it.
serious.
ahead. Go
I
God
ahead.
think he's
damn.
got.
Yo, Jimmy, let's do it.
Listen, man. What is this dude's infatuation with cats, bro?
I don't
I
know.
really think he hung the kitty litter up,
Yeah.
and then 30 years later he says he's talking about kittens, dude, and then saying he's lying. What's his thing with cats, bro?
I don't
I
know,
don't
but there
get
was
it.
well, not only that, he cats and cabs, Marco Nash said. God damn, Marco. Right?
He forgot to mention the dog, Jimmy.
Yeah, he never mentioned the dog either.
That's wild. That is so
There,
wild. He
there
said
was a
he said it
there
the
was a hold
second
up.
time. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, he said he went in the. He said this is what he said exactly. I'll have Kev read it. What he said. What he said was exactly this. He said, Kev, you want to read what he said? Hold on a sec, Kev. Let me pull it up for you. Where is it? He said wrong one right here. He said
The cat. I said the cats because I wanted to see how you guys would run with it. And I
I
see how
saw it.
you really are.
I
I
saw
went
that
in
in
for the
real
dog
time.
food. Yeah.
I'm
He said
sorry.
he
Go
went in
ahead,
for the
read it.
dog food. And I know you're going to say I'm lying, but whatever.
Listen, I
Fucking
saw
dude.
JFK's eyes in real time when that thing came across the screen. I was just like, "Fuck,
I couldn't
what
believe
the
it. I couldn't believe that he's
dude?
lying.
You and 300 people in your chat that night, man. What the
Yeah.
man? Like this
So,
dude,
but he
your show
corroborated.
might be used on in his post conviction motions, bro.
Oh, possible. Very possible.
They
It's like
can't
that's.
I hope
prove
so.
they can't prove that it was him in the chat. That'd be very difficult to use. Because you got to have authenticity and all
Well,
that,
no,
and
he
he could
came on
deny
the
it.
show. He came on the show as Adi Ortiz, though.
They can use that. That is most certainly him, and they can use him on the show.
Well,
But whatever
he
he's
said in
writing
that
is going to
show,
be tough.
he said in the show though, he corroborated the story about the cat litter being hung up. So if he corroborated the story that the cat litter was hung up, he said he was living in the house at the time, if you remember, and he said that
Yeah,
was true. So if that's true, then the book must be true, right? Him the book that got found, and he walked up to her and said, "Here's your book," and then
that is weird. That's so
yeah.
weird.
Well, he corroborated. I said, "Well, what was your feelings when that happened?" Now, keep in mind, we know now from Danny and through Gina that he was the weed man. So if things are being moved around and manipulated in the house he was living in, and he's slanging the pounds or slanging a pound or maybe a cucumber, whatever the fuck his vice might have been back then, he would have been
Yep.
the first one wondering who the hell's meddling around. They're going to take my
Yeah.
stash money,
Yeah.
take my
Sure.
weed, right?
Right.
So you wouldn't care if you were the one doing it.
Right.
He
Exactly,
would have been,
man.
he
I
would have
listen.
wanted to
Full
find
well
out
he
who
was
was
doing
doing
it.
it.
Full well he was doing it. Now, what his problem is with Janet, I don't know. Besides the fact that I know that when you kick someone out of your house, it can get ugly. So if she wanted those keys back, and he was like, "I'm not giving you my keys," and then it might have went to like from like 0 to 100 really fast, and he might have just, man, what happened to that woman is like that was a serious overkill. Like that was somebody that had pure hatred for her, or
Pure
really
hatred. Thank
sick, or a really sick person. And this, by all accounts, isn't Eddie O'Brien, man. The kid is just, I mean, everybody from the most solid convicts in the system to his mom will tell you, and everybody in between will tell you that he is a gentle, calm, loving, respectful, just a good kid,
Let
good
me ask you
dude.
this. Let me ask you this, Jimmy. In 30 years, if there was that rage inside Eddie O'Brien, do you think it would have came out in this last 30 years being in the system?
Absolutely. Especially he was raised up with them at the Somerville table. The Somerville table was the most dangerous table in Walpole back then. He had a seat handed to him. He was around straight, I'm telling you, maniacs back then, right? And he chose not to get in trouble, not to act crazy, because I don't think he had it in him, man. I don't think he had it in him to get
Now, if
crazy.
he had it in
He,
him, do you think it would have came out of him?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He would have turned. Like, let me give you an example.
Go ahead.
And I hate to use this example, right?
Go ahead,
Because
brother.
he's my friend, man. As he's my friend, and for being in the system, he's my friend. So there was a kid. I don't know if you remember him, but his name is So he's from Saugus. His name is Chris. We were younger. We were kids, you and I. And he was charged with murdering an elderly woman in Saugus. Well, it's
Chris.
all public. It doesn't matter. Chris Berry. Do you remember Chris Berry?
No, I don't remember
Young
Chris Berry.
kid. We were younger. He came to DYS with like remember Jamie Fuller that killed his girlfriend in Beverly,
Yeah, I know.
evidently, allegedly.
I
He's
remember
convicted
Jamie.
of it.
Yeah, I remember
All right.
Jamie.
Well, so I know Jamie pretty good. So this is an example. So Jamie was a weirdo when he came in.
Hmm.
He did some weird shit to his girlfriend. He crept up behind his little 15-year-old, whatever, 14-year-old girlfriend in Beverly and sliced her throat and just did weird shit. That's weird.
Right.
And he was a weirdo. And then years later, when I seen him, he was still weird. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is though, Chris Berry stabbed a elderly Saugus woman. If you get a chance when you're not doing nothing, Google it. And like I think it was a bunch of times. I think it was maybe 30. I can't even say a number, but it was a vicious killing. Put a cigarette out on her. I think don't quote me on this, but I think her face.
Mm.
Sat in her house and ate apple pie after things like that. So
I
they
remember.
arrested this kid.
I remember
You
this
remember it?
story. Yeah, I remember
Okay,
this story.
well, all right. So I know him now personally. I was in challenge with him, JRI, Rosendale. Like I was around with him, and then I met up with him years later in prison. He is one of the most violent, dangerous dudes in state prison. They call him Skillet. Good dude.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah, yeah.
good fucking dude. Great friend, man. But he's a dangerous, dangerous, violent dude. And so what I'm trying to say is yes, I do think if Eddie did that, he would have acted like that in the system because that's all you have to protect yourself, especially being around those maniacs. You have to. They kind of mold you, and especially a 17-year-old kid when you come in, they're rubbing their hands together, going, "Oh, he's holding the knives. We're gonna teach him how to stab people." You know what I mean? So, and
The
he
mos-
didn't fall into that. And
the
I believe it's
mosquitoes are
because that's not who he was. He
the
just
mos-
wasn't that person.
the mosquitoes are coming out at night. That
Yeah.
jail politics. They're gonna have him doing fucking push-ups with cards in his ass. Fucking
Yeah.
all that weird
And
shit, bro.
and
Fucking
listen, they
bohemian
knew he wasn't
sit-ups.
a killer.
Bohemian sit-ups and shit. Like all that shit, man. The politics of the bullshit, man. It's like you can either get wrapped up into it or you can just say, nah, fuck that. I'm
And
over here.
and and another thing I just want to speak on real quick, his parents, right? His mom and dad. Do you see now? I don't know. I don't have kids, but I got a strong feeling that if my child killed somebody, I know it, right? You can see the you can just see it in their faces, the anguish in their faces. And when his dad talked back then in front of the courthouse, like you can see the belief in him of his son, man. He knows his son. He knows his son. And if you caught it before, he said to his son, and he told us, he said to his son, Eddie, is this something I should know about? When the troopers turn their heads or something, Eddie, what's going on? And his son told him, nah, Dad, I didn't do anything. And listen, man, they're so they look so on like they look like they 1,000,000% believe in their son, man. And I don't think those are the type of people that would actually could put on that front if they didn't believe in him, to be honest with you. I don't think they're that type of people. I think if they thought he did something like this, I think they'd say, listen, you're my son, I love you, I'm gonna stick by you, but I'm not standing on the courthouse steps screaming innocence for you. I just believe that they truly believe it, and if they believe it, then it must be he may very well is probably innocent, man. Look at this system, how bad it is. Look what they try to do with Karen Reed.
Indeed.
You know?
Look what they do.
Politicians are a son of a bitch, man. They'll trample on their mother to get voted in.
You're absolutely
You know?
right, Jimmy. Everything you're saying.
Tom Riley or O'Reilly, whatever the fuck his name is, had
Yeah,
an
right.
agenda, man.
Yeah, he was a bad man, for
He had an
sure.
agenda.
So
So that's
let me
what
say,
I had to say.
yeah, nah. I mean, bro, you're killing it, man. You're killing it. You're killing it. So so basically, what Jimmy's saying is, if there was that rage inside him, it would have popped out, especially a Walpole State Prison or Shirley Max. I mean, if any place is going to show its ugly head, it would be in one of them fucking places. We can only assume, right? And it never has. And I'm sure he's been tested. You know, there's no way his big ass hasn't been tested. And like you said, if he ain't got it in him, it's kind of like, don't prey on the weak, right? Like, and I'm not saying he's weak, but I'm saying, like, if he's
Yeah.
not that guy, why fuck with him, right? But if he even showed any signs of that, people would be testing him all the time.
Listen, not only that, if he came in on so this is kind of a little, excuse my language, but it's kind of a fucked up case because the DA posed it as a sex case. They
Yep.
can't. There's no denying that. They
Yeah,
posed it as this kid was
sexual
a
obsession,
sexual sick little dude, right?
sadist,
Young dude.
right? Is that the word? Sexual
Sadist. Yes,
sadist. Yeah.
sexual sadist, right? Now, just that alone, I don't care if you're 6'4", 320 pounds, and you walk into Walpole with one of them cases, you have a reason to still be. You better be scared because they didn't treat you kind. Any prison didn't treat you kind back then for things like that. Now they all eat with each other and stuff like that, but back then they took that shit serious. So they had every reason to dislike this kid, to shit on this kid, to put this kid through hell. And he must, all they were seeing was the news, so he must have had some really convincing conversations with these cats from Somerville for them to let him sit at that table.
Well, if he showed that paperwork that there was other DNA underneath someone's fingernails, and there's a couple of Jimmys sitting at the table, they're gonna say, "What?"
Oh yeah, they'd say, "What do you mean What do you mean there was the come on, man, the most valuable evidence when a woman's murdered hands on, I'm talking, when I say hands on, I mean without a gun, right? The most valuable evidence is their fingernails, right? Because they're gonna try to scratch you, attack you, swipe their nails across. Listen, a woman could swipe her nails across your jacket these days, and they could tell you in 2 years from now that Nancy Smith swiped her nails across your jacket. They know whose fucking DNA is under them nails, man. They know, and so does Adi. So do you, Adi. I got you pinned, dude.
You fucking hear him?
I got you pinned, man. I'm not stupid, buddy. If you sat in the law library with me, I'd
God
fucking
damn,
tell you you're
Jimmy.
guilty. Tell you
God
you're
damn,
fucked.
I wish you were sitting right next to me, Jimmy.
know?
I would have said, "Yo,
I would. I'd look at him and say, bro, you better hope they don't test that. Did you see how fast he backpedaled away from that when things started getting real?
Right.
He was like,
So
oh,
what can?
yeah, I'll do a polygraph. Yeah, test it.
Yeah. Well,
He
he hasn't
wasn't
been around.
serious.
He hasn't been in this chat at all. At
Oh,
all
because you
since then.
guys are on his ass, man.
Well, I don't think he realized. I said earlier. I don't know if you were listening. I don't think he realized how live streaming worked.
Right. He didn't realize how many people were going to watch that.
Yeah, and he didn't know that we were going to continue to talk about it
do
and
it.
bring different
Right.
guests and go over it and just rip it apart and see if see what was right and what was wrong with that conversation. And we're still not done. There's still so much more to pick apart. I mean, he lied too. Got to keep in mind, Jimmy, the car was parked down Hamlet Street. The way you park on that street is parked upwards. Right, it's a two-way street, and you park upwards towards Boston Street. He was parked down. But he said when he talked to us, he could have easily backed down Hamlet Street. The way he was parked, he could have backed down Hamlet and banged a three-point turn. But if he would have backed up, he would have been on Boston Street, not Hamlet
Can I
Street.
ask
So
you,
he was lying.
is he saying he doesn't remember, or is he saying that's what he could have did?
No, he was saying that like he said that part like he did remember.
Oh, that he backed out?
No. He didn't say he didn't back out nothing because he didn't have the keys. But what he said when I asked
that's
him,
right. That's right.
I asked him if
How are you?
if could he have left And was it packed on the street? Because how do you make it all the way up to Hamlet Street? So like
Yeah,
the
right.
parallel, it would be where I used to live on Western Ave in Congress. Like he would have had to make it all the way up to that part where my house was on Western Ave to take that right onto Congress Street. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But it was
Yeah.
already blocked off at White Hen. You see what I'm saying? So how do he make it that
Yeah.
far up? But he claims he made it that far up. And then when I asked him, well, you sure? And he goes, yeah, I could have easily just backed down Hamlet Street and banged the 3-point turn. Well, no, because you're lying again, because you wouldn't have been able to back down Hamlet because the way you were parked, that means you came up
Facing
Boston.
the wrong way.
So you were facing the wrong way, the way you're supposed to park, which means is you must have been there before they came because that's the only way you would have got up Boston Street. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I know what you're saying.
He's
Yeah.
fucking
Let me
lying,
let me
Jimmy.
say this, right? So I heard you ask the guy last night, the neighbor, if the street was all backed up and he's blocked off, and he said he wasn't sure. But I'm going to tell you this: I wasn't even there that day, but I'm going to tell you this, man. My streets can fit 2 cars, 2 lanes. Kevin, your street, I would never say where, but your street is 2-lane traffic. It's you can act like there's enough room for a fire truck to sit there and a police car, and you could still go around it, right? But there'd be a murder on
Yep.
that street. You telling me that you're going to get by there?
No.
You're not getting by there.
Fuck no.
And then I Google mapped her street, and it is small, and there's no way in hell you're gonna tell me that even if there were 2 cop cars there that were responding to anything violent that somebody was getting, they're gonna pull up and park right in the middle of that street, especially Somerville police. They're gonna
Right.
park. The first cruiser's
I
gonna
went up
park.
there.
Yeah, saw that, but
Yeah,
he
I went up
wasn't.
there,
Nobody was
Jimmy.
getting
I went
down
up
there.
there. I went up there and walked that street.
I
I
saw
mean,
that.
there's no fucking possible way. No possible way that
Yeah,
if
I
there was,
believe he
I
did
mean,
it,
they
man.
said there was fire truck, EMTs, cop cars, and as we go down this, he tells us that he went in the house 4 hours after they removed Janet. Now, we did some deep diving in these
Impossible.
records, and the state police crime scene photography crew, they didn't show up till 3:30
Oh,
in the fucking
3:30.
morning.
Listen, they're not getting out of there. It's
So
so
there's no
tedious,
fucking,
bro.
I
They're
mean,
not
there's
gone till
no
daylight.
possible way.
Could you imagine telling the CPAC unit that's investigating the murder that a woman just got stabbed 90 times? Do you imagine walking up to that door and being like, "Yeah, I got to get the fucking cat box"? Could you imagine? They'd be like, "Yeah, come on, buddy, come with me.
Yeah,
You're
come
going
with it.
down to this police station. We got
Yeah,
to
hell yeah.
talk to you."
You'd have been fucking on safekeep, bro. You shitting me? You'd have been sitting in a cell. For
It's
sure.
unbelievable that they
There's
didn't
no
talk
way.
to
I
that
mean,
guy. And then he
yeah,
was
well,
trampling on the crime scene looking for keys, man. Wait a
yeah,
minute, what are
well,
you
because
looking for keys for, bro?
he was on the side of the house. What I think happened was before the CPAC unit popped in, he was on the side of the house because Margot Nass says that Blair was an older cop, right? And she wasn't too
Yeah,
sure if
didn't
Blair
care
was
about much.
he didn't care about much. He was just God in the house on some CO
Right.
shit. So
Right.
Adi must have penetrated his mind a little bit because he knew him maybe from the taxi business, the Dunkin' Donuts sitting around. Probably ratted a couple of guys out. Hey, he went that way. So
Yeah.
maybe he talked to him and that's how he got around that house. But as soon as that CPAC unit, them stadies rolled up, it was a different story.
Yep. They weren't letting all that happen.
They weren't letting that happen. And he said 4 hours later. So you got to ask yourself. And he also said this, Jimmy, which is very compelling. He said, when I asked him, did you see Barry, right? Virginia Reckley's husband? He said, no. Did you see Virginia Reckley? No. Did you see Big Ed? No. He said the only eyeballs that I had on was my family. That's the only reason what I was looking for and what I was there for was my family. And I seen Ryan and I talked to him and I was only there for my family. Well, keep in mind, shortly
Oh,
after
you went in the
Janet,
house and smoked a joint, bro, with the neighbors.
look at this. Rumor has it he was
Go
a
ahead.
police
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Margot Nash says rumor has it he was a police informant. Would you believe
Well,
it?
if anybody else said that, I'd tell them to just come on with that shit. We're having a serious conversation. But I believe Margot. If she
No,
says
hell yeah.
that, then
Margot
yeah.
could be a
Thank
judge.
you,
You shitting
Margot.
me?
Yeah, she could have been. She should have been.
Yeah,
She
hell
was
yeah.
his. Margot was Eddie's uh Guardian ad litem, I think they call it. Ad
Yeah, yeah,
litem
yeah,
or litem, right?
yeah.
I've had them in juvenile
Like
court.
an
I'm sure. I
advocate.
think
Yeah.
you might have too, right?
Yeah, yeah, a
It's
couple times.
so it's when they got to give you a representative because your parents are either tied up, unable to show up, or in Eddie's case had different lawyers and they were trying to use them against. They were trying to point the get the parents against them.
Hold on one second,
So
Jimmy.
that he,
Hold on one
yeah,
second, Jimmy. I need everybody in the chat. We got 413 people up in the chat right now. We got Margot Nash, the elegant, the also beautiful. Um, let's call her Judge Margot Nash because I mean this woman is very smart, and she should be the DA or something, and she's all for
Judge
justice.
Nash.
Yeah, Judge Nash. I like the ring to that. Um, I need
I like
everybody to go
Margot,
buy.
man.
I need I need everybody to go buy her book. It's wherever books are sold. I got my mods in the chat. You guys can put a link up. Go buy Politics of Murder because we're covering the case, but we're covering a lot of this case behind the work that Margot Nash did. Be clear. If Margot didn't put down the work and the footwork, we wouldn't be able to even have the dialogue we have. And she's in chat
Yeah,
blessing us tonight. So everybody go support her. Go support the cause that she's fighting. Margot Nash, Politics of Murder. It's a great read. Do that now. Yeah, go ahead,
pick
Jimmy.
up
And I
that book,
know
man. It's a good read, man. I got the audio book, but it's a good read, man. Even listening to it, pick up the book. It got the pictures in it, the crime scene photos.
I
It's a
know
good read.
you've been watching the show. I know you've been watching the show, Jimmy. But did you
Yeah.
hear what she had to say from the about what she didn't hear, in the
Yeah,
past
the
30
kittens.
years?
She didn't hear something. She didn't hear about the kittens over
In
30
30
years.
years. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And
That's about as
because
insane as Higgins calling in, right?
yeah, it is.
Exactly.
It's just as insane. And I'll say this, Jimmy. So speak about what you're talking about, the Guardian. That's what Margot was. You have any more to add to that?
Oh, so Margot was his guardian at Litem. I don't know. Maybe Margot, can you spell it? Um, Guardian ad litem, I believe. So this is appointed in for juvenile when they can't represent themselves. They just can't. They're too young. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know how to speak for themselves. Their parents are tied up, drug addicts. In Eddie's case, they had other lawyers. They couldn't. They wanted them not to communicate with them. So in Margot's case, those lawyers, Bob George and the other lawyers, they should have been consulting with Margot as if she was Eddie, right? That's how I remember it. As if she was Eddie, they should have been consulting with Margot. Um, and I don't believe they were. I believe they were high. Even it was a young Bob George who was very still. He was an animal back then, supposedly. I mean, through the grapevine, I've heard that he's been an animal. He's an animal, but I really can't remember any case he's really won. I never read anything that he flipped in the appellate court. But they were supposed to they were supposed to work with her as if she was Eddie himself, and she was there to look out for Eddie's best interests. And I think she had said one time that they didn't tell her anything, and
No.
that's a ripe issue for a Rule 30 as well. So you could put that in a Rule 32 if Eddie ever wanted to look into that. I'm not sure that I don't know. He's a very, very, very intelligent dude. He's probably better than me in the law library at this point.
Hmm.
But he should insert that as one of the arguments, just as a backdrop or something that,
I think he. I think he.
and
I think
have
he.
Margot, I'm sure, write an affidavit for him and all that. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. No, that's fine. I think he did speak kind of towards that in the parole hearing about the transfer
Oh, did
hearings.
he?
How he kind of. I think he kind of made a mention of it, like he never
Yep.
really had a chance, never really had a defense, and
Yeah.
he realizes it now, but he didn't realize it at the time. And here's another thing, Jimmy. Do you think that I always said that it was kind of like a play by design that he waited this long to drop the appeal? Do you think that he waited to get some time in before he actually went for their necks and push for
Well,
it? Because if he would have did it in the first 5 years, you think he would have had the same traction?
so in the f- so y- y- so the answer to your question is you're correct about the traction, and you're correct about getting them to listen to you, because in the first 5 years, and when the judge was still alive, those judges never admit to when they do something wrong. It's very, very hard. You got to have like you got to have them so dead to wrong, right? Like so wrong that that they're just forced in a corner and they say, okay, I erred by ruling this. They never, almost never, flip a case on their own error, a new trial, which is it's asinine, because you shouldn't have you in a rule 30 you present to your trial judge, and it's so unfair because you can't. How are you? Nobody likes to be told that they made a mistake, you know, and for somebody to admit that they made a mistake in a case like this is like next to impossible. So yeah, you're right in the sense that it was good that he waited. Did he intentionally wait this long? I'm not sure. I think the kids had a rough road with getting the right attorneys to say the right and do the right things for him, and also have their own strategic ideas that Eddie's actually sold on and believes in, because he's not gonna be buffaloed by some lawyer just saying, oh yeah, look at this, I wrote this up, this looks good, like in his 278 33E, his direct appeal. That when Eddie said it, look at I never filed, it was a half truth, because really, he never did. I mean, that's automatic. First degree murder conviction in Massachusetts, automatic appeal to the SJC. So he really didn't file. I mean, technically, because he's got not a single issue, not a single valuable issue has been presented to any appellate court. You know, look at the shit that's going on. Look at the shit they did to this kid, and it's
Right.
never been looked at in the appeals court. And for him, so to answer your question, yes, I think it's better that it was this long, that he had to wait this long. But I don't think it was by design. I think he would have liked to do this 10, 20 years ago. I just don't think the
The
time
crazy
was
part
right. I
about
don't
it,
think he felt like it was right. Go ahead.
sorry, I think the crazy part about it is that he did try, right? Well, didn't try, but he went on 10 years ago. He went on Channel 7 and spoke, and to everything we're talking about now, same story, nothing changed, and he got attacked, because there was no Karen Reed case. So like I feel like the Karen Reed case opened up like a lot of people's minds, especially in the
You're absolutely
Massachusetts
right.
area, of the corruption. So that's why I say like
Showed that
what can
it's entirely possible for
yeah,
for
it's
this to
it's
really happen.
exactly. And
Tough
then
to
you get
believe.
yeah, it's tough to believe, and you got the same CPAC unit, because basically what Riley's saying, he can't he can't
They
deny the
pinned it on
blood.
the kid.
Well, they pinned it on the kid, pinned it on the girl, but Riley's saying he can't get over the fact that there was his blood in the house. He can't
All
speak
right,
to that.
so now you and I know that the two most detrimental pieces of evidence against the criminal defendant in a murder case is
Mhm.
holding the smoking gun, or your fingerprints, the defendant's fingerprints and blood. They're the two worst. You cannot get around that usually, right? They're
Right.
the two worst things. So Riley had him with that, and that's what he sold for at the trial and for all these years. But can it be explained? It sounds like it can be explained, man. Sounds like
Right.
it can be. It's just he's got to convince a judge to at least, never mind whether or not. So whether Eddie did it or didn't do it, and I'll say this till I'm red in the face, doesn't matter. This kid deserves a new trial because of all the stuff that went on. Um, as far as the errors in his case. He deserves a new trial. And let me tell you what's going to happen if so picture this. Picture Eddie puts a Rule 30 in, a motion for new trial. Say he wins either at the the superior court level, or when it goes to the appellate court or SJC, whatever it takes to win, right?
Hmm.
They're going to bring him back to Cambridge, Bill Ricka now, right? They're going to bring him back to Bill Ricka. If they say, we reverse the conviction, um, order a new trial.
He had
They're
to
gonna
get a
bring him back
bail.
to Bill Ricka. They're gonna
Mhm.
have to. They're gonna. Nah, I've only seen bail on a first degree murder two other times, and that's one with the girl with her kids that Kevin Redditor got out. And the other one was with Rosemary's Capicchio's client
Miles
right
King.
now.
Miles King.
I mean, that's all I've seen. There might have been more. Margot
Well,
probably
they were
knows
going to
more,
give him
but
bail on first degree
and they were
murder.
going to give him bail. You're right. So they can do it. I didn't even know it was possible on a first degree case,
Yeah,
but
it's
I guess
unheard
it
of.
is. Anything's possible. It's unheard of, but it's possible. So they would give him a bail. He'd get out. Right now, you know what's going to happen. The DA is going to say to him. The DA is going to say to him to his lawyer. They're not going to want to go back to trial, not with this ID evidence and all that other shit. I guarantee you, if he flips his case, they're not going back to trial. So what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to offer Eddie 20 years for manslaughter, because that's the max in Massachusetts for manslaughter, and time served, and you go on your way, we go on ours. Does he take it? Do I take it? I take it, whether I did it or not.
You
Time's
would
done.
take
I'm
it.
out. See you later, and everybody would understand why I did it. Will Eddie do it? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'll
What
tell
do you
you.
think he should do? If that happened, if that's the
And
scenario, do you honestly think that's a possibility?
yeah, if he flips his case, they're gonna offer him 20 years. Yeah, absolutely.
So, but they're
Absolutely,
gonna.
they're gonna
So,
offer him 20 years.
that's before they run the DNA. Like, so that's before he says he pushes to get that DNA ran.
No. If he find, oh, that's another. Yeah, we'll see. That will all be issues for the next trial.
So
That would
basically,
all,
the
unless the
judge
DA
will
were to
say the
stand up and
judge.
take ownership. The DA stood up and took ownership and said, "We found new evidence, and we believe that that we've been wrong all this time."
But
Then
they're
they
never
dismiss
gonna
it.
do that.
They're never gonna do that. If they dismiss it, then Eddie's out, it's behind him, and he sues. Right? He's gonna get millions of dollars. What they're gonna try to do is they're gonna try to never admit it, absent of 100% fucking spot on evidence that I'm gonna say Adi did it, because that's
So you
who
think Adi did it? So let's
I do. I
stay there
kind of
for a
do.
second, Jimmy. You
More than
kind of do.
Eddie, I think. Yeah.
More than Eddie. I mean, it's why in 30 years, Jimmy. In 30, me and you go back to more than 30 years now. Me and
Yeah.
you, right? More
Yeah.
than 30. Would you fucking believe it, Jimmy? We've been
I
in the
know, it's
game that
wild.
long, right? We were kids, man. We were just kids, bro. We used to go to the movie theater. You know, we fucking hung out. Jimmy used to go with a chick named Michelle Curry, and
Oh, she was
you
so
know,
bad.
yeah, you know, and we used to go to the movie theaters and we used to fucking hang out and do kid shit. Would you believe it? And you know,
Push over soda machines.
yeah, you know,
Was it?
wild shit, you know. And we was out there
Yeah,
in them
dude.
streets. And shout out to our boy Derek Capozzi too. That's in the
We were
feds
in
right now.
Somerville.
Yeah,
We used to go there. Yeah.
yes, we used to hit Somerville. We was actually in Somerville Mentor a couple of times too on Cross Street back when they had
Yes,
the
we
8th bed.
were. Cross Street.
God
Oh my
damn.
God, you remembered that?
Yeah, hell yeah, I do. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to make is, Jimmy, 30 years go by. This guy, like I said, he corroborated the story that the kitten thing did happen. Then he lies about the cats. He said that he backed up the street. Do you think that he's hanging around because he's guilty, or is he hanging around because, not for nothing, the little bit of footage that I've been playing, he feels a certain way? I mean, would you feel a certain way if someone's saying you killed someone 90 times? Do you think that's the reason why he's
Listen,
hanging around, or do you think he's hanging around
if
because he thinks that that Eddie's coming for him?
he's hanging, I believe in my heart that now what I would do myself if I murdered someone and someone else was in prison for 30 years, right? And they were blaming me, I'd be in fucking Florida, living my life and never minding YouTube, and wouldn't even argue back, and would shut my mouth and let everybody talk and just hope it goes away, right? But this dude right here, he he just he is doing this, I feel like, because he is so guilty that he needs to hear every single thing that's said, and he needs to have a combat for all of it. He needs to figure out how he's going to fight this if if an eventual indictment comes on him, because it's entirely possible. He could be indicted for this. Eddie could be let go, and he could be indicted for this. This could go a few different ways, but I mean, we're discussing a few different ways that it can go. Does Adi walk for the rest of his life? Possibly not. Possibly not. If the DNA comes under her fingernails, comes back and matches him, it's a wrap. He's gone. He's gone. Eddie's out and he's gone. Mark my words. If that DNA under her fingernails belongs to Adi Ortiz,
Well,
he's fucked.
it doesn't come back to Eddie because they already tested it. Keep in mind, they tested it for Eddie, and it didn't.
Right, but they
And he
didn't
got
match it to
excluded.
Adi's though.
Well, they
Right?
didn't
They
match
didn't
it to
match it to
Adi's, but I'm
Adi's.
saying, as we know of right now, they never did it. But they had Margot said they had his DNA. They just never did it. They just
Exactly. That's
because
why.
Riley said stop running it. He said stop. He
Right.
told
I saw
Selmark
that.
at the
I heard her
time,
say
calm
that.
down. And there's notes. There's notes, and one of the notes, there's all these notes, these crazy notes. It look like, you know how doctors write, they write all crazy, right?
Yeah,
He's
prosecution notes.
he's
Yep.
writing all these notes. And one of the things in the notes, what did he say, Kevy Kev, that stuck out to you? Oh,
I like
Kevy
to
Kev.
see those notes.
Kevy Kev's frozen. Yeah, I could send them to you, bro. Whatever
What
you
did
want me
what
to
did they
send.
say?
Kevy's froze up. Hold on, Kev. I'm
What
gonna
did the
boot
notes
you.
say?
Well, one thing it said was, even if they're lying, you got to make it stick.
Holy shit, are you kidding me?
I swear to God.
That's got to be going in his Rule 30 motion,
Oh
man.
yeah. Well, we're getting the notes. The notes are getting
That's
sent to us from,
insane.
from
And that's
Dad.
authentic?
It's authentic. 1000%.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's man, he's supposed to have a white hat on. He's not supposed to say that.
That's what it says, bro. It's in the fucking notes.
Oh man, Eddie O'Brien's got a bad stroke of luck, man. That kid, man.
Yeah, that's what, and it's funny because that's what Think
bad
and
luck.
Speak says. Think and Speak says, well, I forget who was. I think maybe it was someone who called in last night, said the same thing. One of the women who called in, she said the same thing, that he had a bad day, like a real bad day to begin with, and then the trial
Yeah.
itself, the way
Yeah.
the way it all worked in. And then how the hell at the time, right? So let's, like, this is just me asking you, right, this question, right? It really doesn't matter. So in 1997, I realized when I was in Cambridge in 1997, right? I wasn't even there being held on bail. I actually was on my way out the door. I was on CWP in Bill Ricker,
Oh, you went there to work?
and I went there to work, and that's when I ran into Eddie. And then I remember him talking. So I have a video with him talking in Cambridge jail that I'm going to play. But you're probably not. Are you watching the chat right now or anything? You can't even see it, huh? 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
I
talking
can
to us.
see the chat. Yeah, I can
Oh,
see the
okay.
chat.
All right, so I could play the video maybe, and you can watch the video with us if you want to stick around and watch the video, because these videos are really dope. As far as getting that space and time, the state of mind. But when I was there in '97, I remember I was in the kitchen because I could do whatever I wanted. You know what I mean? Because I was on my way out the door. So I seen him. He was in the kitchen and he was on the grill, I think, and he was cooking the pancakes or whatever. But I remember him talking. When I heard him talk, I remember him talking, and that's what stuck out to me, the way he talked. Like he talked, but he has a strong Somerville accent.
Little Eddie does?
Yeah. Well, especially in that time, coming from like what I'm about to show you is exactly what I seen. And it always stuck in my head because it was always like, who is this kid? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's he doing here? Like, he didn't fit the build of it, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, what the point I'm trying to make, where I was going with it is that, shit, I lost my train of thought. But this is what
You
I'm
heard him
saying.
talking
This is
in
what
the
I'm saying. No,
kitchen.
he
He's
was
got a strong
17.
accent.
So he got the transfer hearing, but it actually didn't go through yet. He wasn't found guilty, right? So how did he end up in Cambridge at 17 on bail, being locked up in Cambridge when technically, because at that time it didn't work like you had a transfer hearing, you would stay in DYS until you were 18, or when you got found guilty, you went upstate, right? But they kind of broke the law, right? If you remember, did they kind of break the law holding him in jail because they didn't want to drive him back and forth from Plymouth?
Well, he was 17 at that point, and back
Well,
when
he
we
was
were kids,
17, but I'm
17.
saying that I know 17 was, but he wasn't found guilty yet. So
I know,
was he
but
supposed
back
to
then
be?
when we were
Was
kids,
he
you could
supposed
go
to
to
be
adult
held?
jail at 17.
I know, but what I'm saying is in the trip. But did that, because I remember Chris Doan. I remember him. He was 17.
They waited, yeah.
They waited until he went upstate.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, to keep him. I don't even think that it was. I don't know the law. I'm asking you if it stuck out to you because you're on your shit.
When you say he was there when he was 17,
he was 100% 17.
I know. But the only thing I could think of is that it was because back then 17 was considered an adult, so
Right.
they put him there, used
But I'm
that as an
saying
excuse, but they
technically,
shouldn't have yet.
but technically, he still was a juvenile when he did the
Yeah.
crime, and he didn't get found
Yeah.
guilty, so he would be held in juvenile.
Yeah, I don't know why they had him in Cambridge. That's
So
weird.
no, you know why? Because they didn't want to drive him back and forth to Plymouth, and the fucking case was in Cambridge Superior, so they just kept him upstairs,
Kept
which
him,
was
yeah.
which not for nothing, he could have got done up there.
And I heard that back then too. I heard that. I know you're not tripping because I heard that he was there, and you got a video of him talking from
Yeah,
there?
no, 100% he was there, bro.
Yeah,
I'm not.
yeah.
He was there. I seen him, bro.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to
gonna
tell you.
forget
Like
about
he
that.
stuck out,
Yeah,
dude. He stuck out, but I couldn't
yeah,
remember. I couldn't because I was on. I ended up getting parole in '97. I fucked up, and I went back in '98, '99. That time in Cambridge, so I didn't know. And when I found out that he was there in '97, I was like, well, how did I see him in '97? And then I realized, I was in CWP, and I remember I was over there buffing and waxing the floors over there.
yeah.
Because I wasn't
Yeah.
cleared. I wasn't cleared. I was cleared.
Couldn't go outside.
Excuse me. No, I was cleared to go outside, but I think something happened. I got lugged or something, and I ended up coming back, and I had to, pay my dues to get back on the stick and pick or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Like some shit, some political shit happened back then.
Yeah.
I forget. But yeah, and I remember being in the bridge doing whatever, taking the trash out, buffing and waxing the floors over there and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And cleaning up the cells downstairs. And that's where
Yeah.
I bumped into him. But yeah, and like I said, I just remember him just being this big dude, just sitting there, like, you couldn't miss him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
No doubt. Yeah.
check this out. I'll play some shit for you. I'll
Yeah,
play that
Amy,
in.
just to answer your question, she's a Pomeranian. She's asked what kind of dog. I don't want to ignore her.
She's a good girl. She's a good
Let's
girl.
play this.
This happened.
She's being a good girl, right?
Here we go.
Hold on, let me put my camera on. All right, I can see it.
Our exclusive interview took place in the presence of O'Brien's
It's in Cambridge, bro.
lawyer, who would not.
I told you he was in the white suit and all that.
and
I ain't
white
never
too,
seen this.
kitchen.
I told you.
Kitchen
I told
suit.
you he was in the kitchen. He was in all white. This is him. This is what I seen when I was there. I was like, look at this guy. There he is.
Not allow
no
him
doubt.
to answer detailed questions about
That's the
the night
visitor
of the
room in
murder.
Cambridge.
Yeah.
She's my best friend's mother, and she
You hear the way he talks?
treated me respect. I gave her the respect back.
Talks just like a Somerville kid.
I mean, I think she was on my age, but she was in her 40s. I mean, I was 17, 15, actually. I was looking for teenage girls if I was ever had a crush on someone.
When you heard that she was murdered,
Yes.
what were your thoughts?
I mean, it hit deep, I know that. It was my best friend's mother.
The 17-year-old's bedroom in Somerville is just as he left it 2 years ago. A student at...
Look at his bedroom. He got remote control cars in it and shit. I mean, he grew up good, bro. Dad and mom, man, he had a good family.
He got a thick Somerville accent. I didn't think he would
That's
have
what
one of
I'm-
those because he was a church.
Don Bosco High School. O'Brien...
Talks
He's
just
got
like
the
the
whole-
Charlestown dudes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what I heard. That's what he stuck out for me because I heard him say something like, "Yeah, I got the thing." Yeah. And it's like I remember him sticking out to me, like, "Yo, who is this guy?" But think about it. Picture being in the system at the time and seeing that dude in the kitchen, 6'4", sitting there with that baby face, man, in the white suit. It's like, what's this kid doing here? You know?
had tried out for
Not
football
even
and made the
realizing it.
team, but the coach wouldn't use...
Well, you knew what he was there for. You knew that, it was
You
all
knew,
in the
yeah.
papers. Well, everybody knew. It was in the Herald, man. You got the Herald, send it. I mean, 98 times he did this, he did
Oh,
that.
yeah,
And then,
yeah.
and it's like he did that. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, wow.
use him, saying he wasn't tough enough.
Yeah.
I never went into a rage. I mean, I was never mad. I couldn't. I'm still kind of laid back. I take things as they are.
Did you kill Janet Downing?
He said absolutely not. I don't know why he didn't say
Yeah.
it. But it's the footage.
Wow, isn't that something,
Summer of
man?
1995. He got caught
Listen to
in
him.
that house. And he did what he had to do. This boy's innocent. He didn't commit this crime. He didn't do it. He doesn't care. He
He
doesn't
believes it too,
care.
Bob George.
They want you to think that this is a scary, horrible, hidden murderer, monster, stalking the streets of Prospect Hill for 15 and a half years with no one knowing it?
It is very difficult for anyone to imagine.
Crazy, right? There's a lot of footage,
Wow.
bro.
That video says a lot about him, man. I'm damn near convinced that he didn't do it.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. After seeing him, and I said this, people watch part 1, part 2. I don't know where I said it, but after seeing him in that white suit where I was in Cambridge and seeing him, and then hearing him talking and hearing the story, just even looking at him and hearing just the way he spoke at that
Hank
time,
Brennan's brother.
I just
Go ahead.
he's got the swag to him, but it just always for some reason it's just didn't, you know what I mean? Like, you know how you said you get that feeling, like it just didn't seem like, possible.
Yeah.
And being a DYS kid, me and you, man, we was in DYS in '88, man. We've been to all of them, Rozzy, Challenge, you know what I mean? Like, we've been around these kids who, you find out you're sitting there, eating fucking Suzy Q's with this kid, and then you find out that he killed the babysitter. You're like, what? What?
Jamie, man. Jamie
Yeah.
Jamie Fuller.
Yeah, Jamie Fuller, perfect example.
Because, I mean, he was a mild-tempered dude,
you
but he
guys-
had sick thoughts, though.
Yeah, he
Go
was
ahead,
a sick
Kev.
fuck.
Listening to you up here, Jimmy, and then, JFK, you saying to Jimmy, asking him with all the time that he spent locked up, do you think if he had that type of rage that it would have come out in between all these years? And I mean, and obviously, it hasn't. I mean, he's got a pretty good rapport up there, I mean, I'm sure there's situations that you cannot dodge up in there. I mean, and if he wanted to snap, he would have snapped.
No, someone's gonna try you. I mean, everybody around you's not on board that you're innocent. So somebody had to try him from some other city or one of the Fall River dudes or something somewhere. Someone would have tried him, and evidently no one did, man.
Eddie O'Brien
Check out this
denied
shit.
the murder
Look at
both
this.
before and after the drugs were administered. The prosecutor says it means nothing. He says O'Brien told different
This
stories
is him
to
with
the
the
same
truth serum.
examiner.
This is the truth
Never
serum.
accounts for the fact that his blood is in that house. He never explains that away in the tape, and he would not have been able to explain that away at trial.
Eddie O'Brien was convicted
Look at the
this
size
fall
of this
murdering
dude.
his neighbor Janet Downing in her home in 1990.
That's what I'm saying, man. Look at the size
Look at
of
his
this
lawyer.
dude.
Look at his lawyer. Did you see his lawyer?
That was a
He
court
never
order.
accounts for the fact that his blood is in that house. He never explains that away.
After the drugs were administered. The prosecutor says it means nothing.
So that's when the drugs were administered. Check out the date, October 30th, 1995. 2 months after it all went down. 3 months. Check this out.
He says O'Brien told different stories to the same examiner.
He never accounts for the fact that his blood is in that house.
So that's what he went at, that blood evidence. This is solely what he was going off of. Keep in mind, though, he showed up to the scene, Jimmy T. This guy right here was on the scene with the CPAC unit, and keep in mind, Jimmy was in the Eddie was in the hospital and gave pints of blood. So it's very possible, they could have put some blood where they needed to put it, right? And if they ran that blood, right?
Is.
So it's kind of like the tail light, right?
He never explains that away in the tape, and he would not have been able to explain that away at trial.
Look at this dude.
They gave this kid truth serum.
Eddie
and he
O'Brien
didn't
was
admit it.
convicted this
Watch
fall
this.
of
Let's
murdering
watch
his
it.
neighbor Janet
Yeah.
Downing in her home in
Did you see it?
1995.
The
The
truth
woman
serum,
was
watch.
stabbed repeatedly. Both O'Brien's and Downing's blood were found at the scene. Truth serum evidence has never been used in a criminal case in Massachusetts, nor has it been allowed in any major trial
Look
in
at
the
this
United
dude,
States.
nodding
And some
out,
criminal
dude.
attorneys say there's a good reason.
They got this dude whacked
Cheek
out.
still red. Cheek still red.
Whacked out. My man is
You know how
beamed
Mongo says
out.
his cheek used to get red?
Dude, he is fucking beamed. They got
Listen. And his cheeks are still red, even under that serum.
Check this out, people.
He's telling the truth.
Using a truth serum is an attempt to use a medical test for a determination that the jury is supposed to make. Are you telling the truth?
The doctor who administered the drug calls it reliable, saying it's been used clinically for 50 years.
It is new to the forensic field, but in clinical medicine today, it is a valid, reliable tool.
I walked in, right to my left, I saw Janet on the floor. She was laying there all covered with blood.
All covered with blood now?
The blood all over the stairs and the hallway.
The bottom line in
He's
all
not
of
lying.
this is that Ed O'Brien has
lying.
been convicted of killing Janet Downing. That's never going to change.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Ed O'Brien has been convicted of killing Janet Downing.
Listen to this.
Blood all over the stairs and the hallway.
The bottom line in all of this is that Ed O'Brien has been convicted of killing Janet Downing. That's never going to change.
Of course, it's
Oh, yeah,
never
it
gonna
is, buddy.
change. Yeah, hold on. Let me play some more of that clip. I gotta find. Like I said, I had to splice some shit up. Let me
God
find
damn, JFK.
You seen that, right? How crazy is that? So this is.
It's him. I said.
Let me see. Is this the
That's
truth?
in the first-
I want you guys to see that.
You
That's
said
Marco.
I heard Janet Downing.
Look at this.
Did
This
he tell
is
you not to
Marco.
come around the house anymore?
Yes.
I'm gonna play that too.
And then did you stab her?
No.
You
Keep in mind, people, this is October 30th, 1995, 3 months after it all goes down. Listen, look at how whacked out he is, bro.
He's jammed out.
The lawyers
did you
believed in him
stab
if they
her?
were going to do this.
No.
No.
You didn't hurt Janet Downing?
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
Eddie O'Brien denied the murder both before and after the drugs were administered. The prosecutor says it means nothing. He says O'Brien told different stories to the same examiner.
He never accounts for the fact.
How about Marco? You ready? Here's Marco,
Why were you
people.
in the bushes last night? And he said, I wasn't in the bushes. And I said, I seen you in the bushes. And he said, I wasn't in the bushes, so I just left it at that.
Marco Abreu, Eddie O'Brien's old friend, today the star witness, recounting how he...
The star witness. Hey, Marco, you out there listening? You're the star witness, huh? Listen to how you switched up your story, though, Marco.
We saw the hawkish teen walking away from the area of the crime scene.
Here we go.
Could you see his face at that point?
Yes, he looked over his right shoulder at me and smiled.
And could you describe what you saw?
Him smiling, his eyes were wide open.
O'Brien seemed amused when Abreu recreated his body language, showing how he had appeared when he walked not far from Janet Downing's house not long after the murder.
Now, did you make arrangements at that time to give a second interview?
Abreu conceded to the defense in the first two interviews with police. He said he couldn't be sure it was Eddie O'Brien. Moments later, he told the district attorney why.
After you spoke to your mother, what happened?
I told her that I was 100% sure that was Ed the whole time. The only reason I didn't say anything was because I didn't want to believe that he committed the crime.
What happened next?
You're licking your lips a lot, buddy, man. Dry mouth and all that.
She called Lieutenant Femino and Trooper Duggan, and they came to my house.
Abreu conceded it was after an angry conversation with Eddie O'Brien's father that he went to his mother with the whole story.
He asked me what I had told the police down at the police station. I told him I thought it was Ed, and he didn't approve of that. He didn't really think I should have did that, but I told him I couldn't lie to the police. So.
Did he lose his temper?
I don't think so. Well, he lost his temper, but I don't think it was at me.
Okay. Did he tell you not to come around the house anymore?
Yes. And then did you stab her?
No.
You didn't hurt Janet Downing?
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
Eddie O'Brien denied the murder both before and after the drugs were administered.
How are we feeling about that, people?
I mean, I'm going to have to read up on how reliable that stuff is, but he looks like he's telling the truth. He's whacked out.
I mean, what is in that stuff? That's what I want to know.
Man. What is it called?
Fuck, it looks like
Hold on, I'll look right now.
It looks like he's beamed out. Yeah, I'm here, bro. He looks like he's beamed out of his brains, bro.
Last week when Nan was in the chat, she says it's not used anymore. I mean, I don't know whether if it's not used anymore.
Sodium
if it can still be used.
Sodium thiopentol and scopolamine and amberbital. True serum is a colloquial term for a range of psychoactive drugs used in attempts to extract information from individuals who are unwilling or unable
Fucking
to
horse
provide it.
tranquilizer.
Common substances associated with true serums include sodium, whatever those words were, man. While these drugs may lower inhibitions and make it more difficult to lie, their effectiveness and ethical implications are highly debated. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff on it.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just reading it. I'm just
I'm here.
looking at. There's a lot of stuff on True Serum on Google. There's a whole Wikipedia page on it. But whatever the case, we just saw it with our own eyes. I mean, how could you be that fucked up and have the ability to keep your lie going?
Exactly. I mean, my man was like, like never been away from home. The dude's
And
like,
what gets
went to,
me is his face is red.
So what do you mean by that though? Like exactly?
I mean by that's him being truthful. That's his truth. Margot said that when she's seen him in the cell, he would blush and his cheeks would just get rosy red, right? And I just mean that he's being truthful. Like you could tell he's being himself.
He's being
He's being
himself.
truthful. He's being straightforward. He's blushing. He's like, I feel like if he wasn't blushing, he wouldn't. I don't know, man. I just feel like he was. That makes me think he was telling the truth more. I can't really explain why, but I just do. I feel like the blushing has something to do with him being truthful.
That's valid. Jay Brilliant, once again, our boy Jay Brilliant. He said, "Find dirt and blow it out of proportion." That's what Riley said. They sent Eddie as a young kid to the worst prison, hoping he would not live. True. And our girl, Lisa McDonald, peace signs up for Lisa McDonald, everybody. She's working too. She is working too. Relax on the Fall River.
Fall River. Yeah. That's funny. I had a lot of friends from Fall River.
Man, how crazy is that though, right?
But listen, man, I'm never going to get up in the morning. I got to work on Saturday. I'm probably going to call out. I'm going to try to get up. So,
well,
listen,
Jimmy, man, it was a
good,
pleasure.
It was a good time, man. I'm glad I hopped on. I've been wanting to, man.
Yeah, come back anytime, Jimmy. All right.
Good seeing.
I'm gonna
good
try to
hearing from
finish
you.
listening to you guys as I fall asleep, but I don't know how long I'm gonna last. I'll catch up in the morning.
All right, brother. We'll talk soon.
Great show, man. Great show. I want to say thank you to all the mods in the chat, man. You guys are really easy on me, man. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely, Jimmy. Man.
All right, Jimmy.
Appreciate you, Jimmy. We'll talk soon, brother.
Yes. All right.
Peace and love.
Later.
Peace signs up for Jimmy T. Jimmy T, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Shit is getting real. Let's go. God damn, Eddie. Yeah, you whacked out. Yikes.
Static selector.
Yeah, we all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history, homie. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history,
In my house.
A brew conceded it was after an angry conversation with Eddie O'Brien's father that he went to his mother with the whole story.
He asked me what I had told the police down at the police station. I told him I thought it was Ed, and he didn't approve of that. He didn't really think I should have did that, but I told him I couldn't lie to the police. So.
Did he lose his temper?
I don't think so. Well, he lost his temper, but I don't think it was at me.
Okay. Did he tell you not to come around the house anymore?
Yes.
And then did you stab her?
No.
Did you stab her?
And then did you stab her?
No.
I mean, is it possible he's not telling the truth right there? Are you there?
Definitely
J.F.K?
telling the truth. Yeah, I was just reading a document. Yeah,
You didn't hurt Janet
definitely telling
Downing?
the truth.
You didn't hurt Janet Downing?
No.
No.
Did you kill her?
Did you kill her? October 30th, 1995, people. It was the summer of 1995. At that time, it was autumn. What do you believe? Who do you believe?
Yeah.
No.
Eddie O'Brien denied the murder both before and after the drugs were.
And then did you stab her?
No.
You didn't hurt Janet Downing?
Yeah.
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
Yeah. Summer of 1995, hot night in July. Why did Janet have to die? This is the story of Eddie, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The system is petty, juvenile law and politics so deadly. 15 years old, known as Big Lovable Teddy. Janet Downing, 42 years old, what's the motive? Killed in her home, young mother devoted. Eddie went in the house, the door was open. She was on the kitchen floor, laying there frozen. Eddie claims this was not what he planned to see. A man with a mask grabbed him. Be quiet. I will kill your whole family. Eddie left the house, ran up the street. Around the corner, washed up in the bathroom at Burger King. Janet was stabbed multiple times. Rest in peace. It was a gruesome murder scene. I agree. Eddie went to his work, said he got jumped, but never said a thing. What? About Janet lying there lifeless, his friend's mother from across the street. Shh. He was in the house. But Janet had a brother-in-law she kicked out for selling drugs. Said if anything ever happened to her, it's him you bring up. The night of the murder he showed up, was acting suspicious in the front yard. Gina in Virginia says he was looking for his keys. It was humid and muggy, but we were showered and neat. He was a cab driver looking for his key. Looking for a key to one of the cabs in the fleet. Yes. How did he know something happened on that street? Eddie says he is innocent, and the cab driver did it.
Who do you believe?
Believe.
DNA under Janet's fingernail, unidentified. Who do you believe?
Come on, come on.
This is the story of Eddie, 15 years old.
Life in prison.
This is the story of Janet, life taken and stolen.
For no reason.
It was the summer.
July 1995.
Do you all remember?
30 years ago, why she have to die?
15 years old, locked in a cage, a murder that he always denied.
Let's go. Summer of 95. Life goes by. Welcome to the stream. Long gamers. Peace and love. La la la. Let's take them back.
No way he isn't telling the truth. He almost at the point of being unconscious. That's why people tell the truth on it. He probably doesn't even remember being asked those questions. That's a good point with the duck. And remember, people, we have a Venmo and we have Cash App. My Venmo is at J.F.K. Show Off. My Cash App is at J.F.K. Show Off. And don't forget Kevy Kev 781 on the Cash App. Venmo J.F.K. Show Off. Cash App, JFK Show Off, Kevy Kev 781 on the Cash App. We're open 24 hours a day. Feel like donating? Go ahead and go for it, whatever your vice might be.
Peace and love. I wanted to speak on something.
Go ahead.
The other,
Run it.
I had gotten a document today sent to me, and when I was going through it earlier, I wanted to bring up one part. The Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab chemist, Mary Kate McGilvery. She conducted the serology testing on only 21 of the 59 items that tested positive for the presence of blood. So she only tested 21 items.
She got fired too, right? Your pause game is serious, bro. What's that, buddy? What are you talking about?
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you
talking about?
What you talking about?
What you talking about, Kevin?
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
Huh? What's going on? Wow. Kevin, we're moving on up.
God damn.
You paused up. You're frozen, buddy. There you are. You're coming back to life.
I did.
Holy shit.
Okay, hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe, hit the heel toe. Let's go, let's go.
You might have to, you have to get back, right, friend? What the hell's going on? God damn, you just glitched out. Oh, man, he's glitching.
I know. Where are the blankets? I don't see blankets, Terry.
Because I was having Jen get the baby blankets to wrap.
I'm ready, bro. You're just glitching a little bit. Maybe go off camera. There you go. You coming back?
No, I should be good. I should be good. I don't know if you got me on there now. So, can you hear me? Mic check to the gods.
I can hear you, brother.
So, there was 59 items that had the presence of blood, and only 21 of them were tested. We had talked on an earlier stream about pitches in the house. So the pitches of grapes that were on the wall or on the floor that had blood on them tested to be Janet's blood. No one else's blood. Janet had AB blood. Edwin O'Brien had type O. Paul Jr. was type A. Oh, wait, that was the father. Paul J. Downing, a birth date of 1949. He's type A. Adi Ortiz, type B. Ryan Downing, type A. Paul Downing, type B. Yep. The blood that was on those pitches was AB.
The blood that was on the pitches was AB. It wasn't type O.
Wasn't type O. So maybe in a struggle when all this was going down, because there was blood all over the stairs. I mean, they found her hair inside the baseboards. I mean, there was a struggle in that house.
Unforgettable says the Riley notes is wild to me, J.F.K. Kevy Kev had me like, God damn, when you mentioned it.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm still kind of in the process of going through right now. There's a lot of indiscrepancies with those notes. It almost like even if the shoe don't fit, make sure it fits. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, there was definitely a punchline that he was shooting for. And like I said, unheard of that the DA would personally want to try this case, And with all the pushback with the chemist, with statements. You know, it just, you can tell that all these were pushed back, and none of these people are going to challenge him. You know, I mean, he was holding a high authority in that courtroom. And that's another thing. His presence being there, you know, he was pushing that. He was flexing. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it on these notes. You know, which is sad. I just wanted to bring that up about the pictures, though.
Taking phone calls right now. Phone lines are open. Who wants to call and talk to JFK, Kevy Kev? Go ahead and make the call. We are here right now. We are here for you.
God
2 minutes.
damn, let's go,
Excuse
people.
me.
Let's
2
go.
hours. 2 hours and 5 minutes in. We had a great show so far. We're bringing you all the footage. We're bringing you all the facts. You know, Jimmy T is, you know, the perspectives that we're bringing. We have a Margot Nass perspective, a Jimmy T perspective. We have the parents. We got Gina. We had Danny. We got lawyers. Keith. We even had Artie himself. And it goes on and it goes on. John Roberts. Who's next to speak to this? Obviously, you got James Jackson last night had his perspective. You have Kevy Kev, JFK every day. You had Chimmy, Unforgettable. Lisa McDonald, her perspective. Becky, E. Pags, Pretty Eyes. What the Duck, of course, with her perspective. Thinking Speaks, her perspective. Mitchie, if I'm saying her name right, she was on here. Making Changes. I mean, we have, and of course, we got Jay Brilliant, the man, Jay Brilliant, who has his perspective, and he's working too behind the scenes. And keep in mind, he is fully on board with this, and he is not going anywhere. So, I mean, this is only part. Did I even name this? I don't even think I named this. Politics as Usual, Massachusetts. I don't even think I put the pot number in, huh? Yeah, so this would be pot 18. I think when I did the header, I didn't put the pot number in. Would you believe it? I messed that up. I got to do that when I get off. I think I could do it now, though. Maybe. I'll just do it when I get off. This is pot 18.
You know, the other thing, too, I wanted to bring up is in these notes that I got, there was one particular part that was circled in Mr. Riley's personal notes. And it was item number 45, a V-neck blouse. They're a little hard to read. A V-neck blouse. It says, now this is like blood evidence, I believe, that's found. He can be a single source. And, you know, there was another note that I seen in there, and it would seem just real cocky. It says, how do I get Hesserman? How do I get Hesserman to distance himself from Barnum, who he considers the best in the business? And he's got it underlined, my man. There's thousands of notes, handwritten notes, thousands. Now, they did find a shoe print inside that house. It says right here. Now, this is another note. Hear me out, JFK. They found a shoe print inside the house. His note says, take one of these samples from the sidewalk. Make sure it's connected with Ed O'Brien.
He was size 14 at the time.
He was a size 14 at the time.
O'Brien denied the murder both before and after the drugs were administered. The prosecutor says it means nothing. He says O'Brien told different stories to the same extent.
And here's the
The unforgettable. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. Call from Renee.
You're live with JFK and Kevy Kev. What's up?
Hey, it's Renee.
What's up, Renee? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We're good. How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. Thank you for asking. I have questions about him being 15 and under truth serum.
Do you?
Yeah.
And what's that?
When somebody is 15, is the questioning conducted in compliance with juvenile interrogation rules? Did guardians or counsel present? Were guardians or counsel present during the stages of questioning?
I think they wanted to get it done.
His parents did?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, they know he didn't do it, right?
Were any of his statements used against him, or were they used for him?
Nah,
Did
they
they
didn't.
use any of his statements that he made during that process that he was under the truth serum?
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. You know why?
You should know. I don't know why. That was like really that really broke my heart to see him like that. I mean, not only were there's 3 main chemicals in truth serum, and one of them is like a really powerful dose of benzos. It's crazy.
Is it? What's the benzo?
It just said benzopain. It didn't say which one.
It
But
says
it just said
benzodiazepine. I knew he looked beaten the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
He looked like he took a couple of K cuts at 95 with the K in him. The clotipins.
Right. So that's why I was wondering if his parents were good with it. But if, he answered them so truthfully and so honestly, like so sure that he didn't do it, I'm just not getting why they didn't use that for him during the trial.
Right. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Where you at with this?
I'm still with Artie, man. Still with Artie.
You still with
I
Adi?
think, yeah, I don't think Eddie's guilty.
Right.
Just don't. And I think whatever, and you said it earlier, whatever is under the fingernails is definitely, I think, going to show who did it.
It should, right? It only makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Molecules matter. Run the DNA.
Run the DNA. I love it. Got anything else you want to say to the chat, sweetie?
No, that was it. Hope y'all are doing good.
And you as well, girl. Appreciate you being here. Is this Renee? I see you, Renee?
Oh my God, yes. Is that how you're going to know me for the rest
No,
of my life?
no. There's another Renee. There's another
Mama.
Renee. There's another Renee, right? You wait a minute. You weren't the Renee who jumped on the other night on the one of the Renees jumped on and she was on camera, right? I don't think that's the same Renee. Was it?
I have
No, I
been,
don't think
I
so.
turned my camera on one night. Yep.
Oh,
with
you did jump on
And
camera one
then,
night?
and
So
then
this whole
last night
time
I
that was
did
you,
not.
huh?
So, yeah.
All right. So I thought there was two different Renees. My bad. But yeah. Okay. How? So you're good though. You're all right.
It's been a trying couple days. I told you yesterday I had to get some more blood, and
How's your
today
son?
was trying also.
How's your sons? You said you got two sons, right? Did you say that?
Yes, I have to.
Are they treating you good?
They always treat me good. I
All
was
right.
with one today.
All right. You tell them if they don't treat you good, J.F.K. and Kevy Kev are coming out to Tampa or wherever you're at to talk to them.
Oh, he watched. I'm actually in New Smyrna, which is closer to Daytona.
Oh, okay.
And then my one son
Nice.
is like the next city over, and then my other son is in Tampa.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that you're on the
He
mend.
wanted to know. He's watching too. He watched. When did he watch? Did he watch last night? Yeah, he watched last night. He's on his way to Cincinnati to go see the Cincinnati and Patriots game this week.
Oh, there you go. That's a good little plan right there.
Yep.
Born in Florida, but a Pats fan.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Jimmy was on, like he seems real familiar with everything. Did he lean? If I caught it correctly, he leans towards Eddie not being guilty, and more so Artie.
Well, at first, to be clear,
Is that the vibe I caught?
yeah, at first, be clear, Jimmy thought that, based on what he read, he just thought that, the evidence was overwhelming. But now that he heard from Adi, and heard the way Adi's handling this, he has a different
Making
perspective.
changes, bringing up that I'm talking about underwear again. Tell him to stop it and to behave.
Yeah, he needs to calm the fuck down. Need to calm down,
Marky
bro.
Mark's underwear. Stop it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah,
But
he's on that side. He's on that side. He thinks run the DNA, and see what happens, but he thinks that he has a feeling. He said he has a gut feeling that if he thinks that they ran that DNA, it would come back to Adi. That's what he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's thinking that at this point.
I think so too. What about you? You still on the fence? You kind of have to remain impartial.
That's about right. You know what I mean? It's entertainment purposes only on this YouTube channel. And we don't want to curate a chat to say this person's guilty when all I could do is do the best I can do and open up this case and peel back the layers and give everybody the best possible information and take them back to that time in 1995. Same way I did with the waterfall. I mean, I went over the waterfall video day in and day out, day in and day out. So when you're saying free Karen Read, I mean, although that narrative is being pushed, free Karen Read was being pushed whether JFK was here or not. But the fact that, if you didn't think that she was not guilty, or you didn't think Higgins did it, or it happened that way, or you know, that waterfall video definitely we pushed it enough to, to say, hey, you're not wrong for thinking the way you're thinking. And and it's the same situation here. I'm trying to take you back to 95, trying to show you the true serum video, trying to show you that interview, show the mother and the father in front of the courthouse, and take you back to that time, the funeral. You see the funeral, see a little bit of the trial, some
That was
testimony.
heartbreaking.
And there's so much more content coming. We're working on getting the whole trial where we're going to sit back, and I'm sure that's going to be exciting to go through the whole trial to see all these witnesses, see John Roberts on the stand, 30 years ago, and compare what he said in 2025 to what he said in 1997. That's going to be exciting. So we're working on all that, and we just want to give everybody the best possible information, and you make your mind up. But
You're giving everybody a good platform to speak on. I mean, I appreciate that.
yeah, and
That when you talk about your waterfall video, I watched that. Like, how many people could that place fit in that place at full capacity?
right. Oh, the waterfall.
was
I think,
small.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
small, and that's why we did the reenactment video, because we just wanted to show the space. People, a lot of people overlook the waterfall video. That's just the
So, like,
fact.
if Higgy was calling out John, he should have been able to hear him quite clearly.
Oh yeah, he could have just said, "You coming to the?" He could have just been, "You coming? You coming? You coming over here?" Why do you have to text him? Like, why do you have to double down and have to text him after that? Like, why did he make a spectacle before he left? That's the bottom line. And that little reenactment video proved a lot. And it goes to show you, you didn't need a documentary crew. You didn't need a Canon red Canon camera, something that Marty Scorsese uses. You didn't need that. All you needed was an iPhone, and you just needed a tripod, needed some microphones, and you needed a wingman like James Jackson. And me and James Jackson went there. We had a plan, and we executed. And by doing that video, that's what people leave out, the waterfall. By doing that reenactment video, that's what got the Higgins phone call. Nothing more, nothing less. When he called, it was the same day. Go back and watch the original video, December 11th of 2024. Go back and watch that. It was the same day. Yeah, it was the same day we put up the reenactment video. It was the same day. We were going over the reenactment video when he called. Because at that point, he's like, at that point, he's just like, man, you guys are going all out your way to come at me. You guys even went to the fucking waterfall and did this reenactment video. And we were just trying to show the space. I don't think anybody else had, nobody wants to bang the concrete. And even with the Eddie O'Brien case, that's what we're doing. We're digging, we're peeling back the layers, talking to guys like Jimmy, talking to guys like, shoot informants, Jay Brilliant.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Jason Brilliant behind the scenes, and even Kev. We're banging on the concrete, man. We're taking it back to a time, a space and time, in the stories of being in the inside, and and we're just peeling back the layers and at the end of the day, it's like, I always say this: the Karen Read case was a unicorn case because she was a banker, right? And she got in no trouble, and it was two cops that did, three cops that involved, two of them, which, well, actually more if you put in Kevin Albert, and then the chief. There's 4 or 5. I mean, it was just a bunch of cops against one cop. So the story was different. You know what I mean? It was different, and it appealed to an audience. And now this story is a little bit different, but kind of the same, because he was a 15-year-old kid and he didn't have a criminal record. And then look at his parents. And it never got the same light as Karen Read, obviously, because of the time frame, right? But it's like, all these guys that are doing this shit about justice, they scream justice, and they're screaming how they're freedom fighters and all that bullshit. There's a fucking million people that are locked up right now, whether they're in Florida, whether they're in Beantown.
My brother is one of them. That's how I'll be spending Thanksgiving.
Right. Well, they're locked up. Some of people are locked up. What I'm saying is, unlawfully, man, that, they didn't do it. And they need a channel to dig into their story and peel back the layers and talk to people. But then people don't want to do that work. The reason why they don't want to do that work is because the tentacles attached, meaning if that person has a criminal record, if the guy was a car thief and then he's being charged with an armed robbery, it's kind of like, well, he used to steal cars and, he got away with a lot of crime. So fuck it if they're just charging him on this. He may, he deserves it. And that's not, so when a guy has a criminal record, when you look at the Francis Gigalotti case, that's exactly the reason why people are not going hard for Francis Gigalotti, because where he comes from, his his criminal background and
Assuming
it's
he
like,
should already be guilty.
yeah, well, you ran from the cops. You ran. You should have never
Mm-hmm.
ran. You should have never did drugs, and that would have never happened. Okay, cool. All right.
But don't deserve to be choked.
You don't deserve to be choked. You don't
stepped on his
deserve to
neck.
die. That's not up to you. If
No.
you're if you're about fighting freedom, and you're about and you're about having people taking accountability, whether they're police or whatever, bad behavior, poor behavior, whatever it might be, then that's what you would do. But that doesn't appeal to a lot of people. That's why and I hate to say it, that's why the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case, which is fucked up too. Don't get it twisted. It's a messed up case, but it appeals to that audience because it's a cop against cop, and it makes people feel, well, hey, they messed up. It's cop against cop. There's no criminal records involved. There's depression involved. There's babies involved, and it's a girl, right? It's another woman. It kind of fits the criteria. In this situation, this case right here, someone stabbed 90 times. Him being in jail for 30 years, even though when he started out his journey, even though this is the reason why I do not want to do Google Voice no more, is because of the beeping, right? But today I decided to do it to see if I could pick up on certain other people that don't want to come up on the StreamYard. But I'll tell you, the point is when
I
Eddie,
would be on screen if I didn't get out of surgery recently.
no, that's fine. That's fine. No. I opened up the phone lines for the people who didn't want to be on StreamYard. They don't know how to click the link, or they don't have an email. Or they think they're going to click the link and we're going to find out where they are. Some people get scared, so I figured I'll open up the phone lines for the people who don't really do the StreamYard thing. But so just trying to make everybody get their chance to speak their piece on this case if they want to. But the point I'm trying to make is Eddie didn't start this as a criminal. He started out as an altar boy, but unfortunately 30 years went by and now he's in the system, man. He's he's an inmate. He's did all the time in Walpole, and they don't care that he started out as an altar boy. They just look at him as a guy who's been in jail 30 years. So it doesn't appeal to some people. It just don't.
That brings up my question from Jimmy T. Do you think if he was, do you think at this point,
you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I lost you for a minute. Do you think at this point, yeah, I know the whole thing goes to him not wanting to be a snitch, but if what Jimmy T said about what they offer him, if he does say that he did it, that he would get his freedom, do you think that he would?
Do I think that? I mean, I don't know. I mean, what would that's a catch 22. Right. I mean, if he gets out on the street, man, if he gets out on the street with a guilty plea with that, I mean, the cops are going to be all on him. I mean, he's not going to live a quiet life,
But then he could flip it like Karen Read and do a book and do a movie and.
Yeah, but he still would. Then they say, "Why you plead guilty?"
Yeah.
Why'd you plead guilty?
It's such a catch-22 after 30 years, man. I might think, fuck it, I want to get out.
No, I would totally understand, and Jimmy's right. Anybody would understand from that perspective. But the thing is, that's why I try to take you to the funeral, and I try to keep Janet down, and same way I try to keep Francis Gigalotti, same way I try to keep. And I hate to say this, and I hate to toot my own horn, but that's another thing that I started doing early on with the Scapiccio trial against when they had Lally on the stand, and they had Proctor was going to come in for the Miles King. I'm like, everybody's cheering Scapiccio on because she's tearing into Lally, and everybody loves to see it. But who they're forgetting about is Marquis Simmons. Yeah. And I was like the first one who started name dropping Marquis Simmons and starting shit, and basically starting a little shit, saying you guys are covering it. and love to see her killing everybody. Oh, she's my spirit animal. I love her. Okay, but keep in mind, as you're cheering her on to get Miles King out of jail on a bail, $10,000 for that. Keep in mind, there's a grieving family that, you know,
Right.
because it's
See
not an
the
Eddie
other side.
it's not an Eddie O'Brien case, right? It's very simple. Miles King, Marquis Simmons, before he died, said Miles King shot me. You know what I mean? And that's it. I mean, it could just be as simple as that, right? And then a year before that, Miles King was in front of Marquis Simmons' house with a gun and got arrested. So could it be a revenge thing? Who knows? But there's really no layers to it. There's no, even with the Eddie O'Brien case, it was a 3-inch knife that they're saying was a murder, that he had a collection of little 3-inch pen knives, but yet it was a 7-inch blade that killed her. That doesn't really add up to the type of knives that Eddie had. They're saying it was a footprint. Well, he had a 14, size 14. Where the fuck is that footprint? You wouldn't notice that, all these inconsistencies, and obviously the DNA. So there's just layers to it. Same with the Karen Read. That case right there is just a case of the Karen Read tentacles potentially could spring a murderer out of jail. Now, is that something we should celebrate? No. I mean, yes and no, because at the end of the day, if you could get out of jail, and I'm not saying it's wrong for him to get out of jail, because, hey, he has rights. That's the system. He's going to beat the system. This dude is going to beat the system. But I was just trying to show a way that sometimes it's not all for the good, right? And that's all.
Right.
And the family suffers. And, that they're suffering right now, knowing that Miles King is home, that killed their son on a $10,000 bail. He gets to go out and eat burritos and go to Chick-fil-A and fucking go to the gym, and their son's in the dirt, all because of a crooked ass cop. So, but no one wanted to talk about that, because no one wanted to talk about Marquis Simmons until I started running my mouth. And then it's like, now all of a sudden Marquis Simmons gets mentioned, and that's how all this shit kind of starting between supposedly the division. If you go back and look at the tape, it all started through that, because people pick and choose what they want to talk about. Right. And I don't like people who, because like I said, if Karen Read had drunk driving on her record prior, does that mean she killed John O'Keefe?
Right.
And and that's the thing, I'm sure she probably
Want to
drank
hear
and
something
drive.
crazy that
Go ahead.
just happened here that nobody paid attention to?
What's that?
There was a cop in my city, and a week before he was murdered, this cop. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A week before this cop was murdered, he pulled me over. I was doing 45 and a 30. And he pulled me over, and I said, I only went like 10 feet. There's no way I could have been doing 45. He said, you were. I said, there's no way. I pulled out of a store, and I was going across the railroad track. He's like, you were doing 45. And I kept just going back and forth with him. He said, look, you're driving me crazy. Just let me drive. Let me run your license, and I'll let you go if it's okay. And I said, cool. But anyway, he was off duty, and he went to a 7-Eleven. And the guy behind the counter working at the 7-Eleven didn't like the way this cop looked, said he looked at me funny. He reached underneath the counter at the 7-Eleven while working and shot the fucking cop 30 times, point blank, standing in front of him. Just happened a month ago.
God damn.
It's been nowhere on TV. Nowhere. Nothing. Nothing said, nothing.
Why is that?
I don't know. No clue. I mean, like, his funeral was on TV. They had a big progression, the police and the motorcycles and the cars and all that. Parked his car in
So
front
the
of
guy
police
who worked at
department.
7-Eleven shot a cop 30 times?
30 times, point blank. And if you want to look it up, it happened in Ormond Beach, Florida. 7-Eleven. And it was a police officer named Eddie. Really cool dude. I mean, he let me go, so I was grateful. Thank you. But rest in peace. Yeah, he said that he had been in that store a couple times, and he caught a bad vibe from him. And that morning, he didn't, he was off duty. He was in plain clothes. He wasn't even carrying nothing. And he walked in the store, and he was up at the counter, and he reached under the counter. This guy didn't. Put 30 in him. 30 bullets in him.
Damn.
It hit the news maybe 2 nights. That was it. Don't know anything about the dude that did it. Don't know why. Mental health. What was it?
A bad day. A
Yeah.
bad
Bad
day.
day.
A bad day.
Catch somebody on a bad day.
You know, a bad day, and that's what it comes down to.
And that's
You
what
know,
I mean about him. This boy being 15 years old, he couldn't have been having that bad of a day to do such a murderous, heinous, rageful murder at 15. He couldn't have that much of a bad day at 15.
yeah. I mean, you're right. You know, who
Maybe
knows?
he could. I don't know. But that's the part that gets me too. Like, how does somebody that's 15 have such a freaking bad day to? And the knife that you
Well,
showed
they said it was
yesterday, that made
premeditated.
a lot of sense.
They said it was premeditated. You know, so and there's no indications, like John said, that anything was premeditated. You know, so
Premeditated, why? Because they look at porn magazines in the store?
yeah, basically,
Don't all prepubescent boys do that?
yeah.
Come on now. I have 2 sons. When I clean their rooms, I'm not picking up their socks or whatever's rolled up on the floor.
Oh goddamn.
I'm a mom. I'm not touching that.
God damn. God damn.
I don't know. That's just too much for a 15-year-old. Too much.
Right.
Anyway.
I appreciate you, girl.
That was a good interview again. Very good.
Yeah, we're working
Hey,
too. You
Kevin
know,
Kev.
Kev, she said, "What up?" Kev's frozen again.
How we doing? Glad you're up here.
He needs some hot
Kev, you're
coffee.
always frozen, buddy. What's going on, pal?
Glad you're up here.
Give him some antifreeze.
Yeah.
Kev, my brake light's
am
on.
I
I
there?
can't get it off. What do I do?
Her brake light's on. Can't get it off. What should she do?
The sensor.
Oh, there's a little white. There's a little white switch underneath on the brake pedal lever. Brake pedal lever. Look underneath your brake where your brake pedal lever is. It should be about a 3-inch white switch.
All right, I'm losing y'all. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna share with someone else.
All right, Renee. I appreciate you.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Call from
The Unforgettable.
You're live with J.F.K. and Kev.
What up, J.F.K. and Kev? It's The Unforgettable.
Oh, what's
What
happening?
up?
What's
What's up
happening?
with you guys?
We just working too. We working too.
Yes, you guys have been doing a wonderful job with this case, and shout out to all those people that have been giving you some info that we haven't come across, and you're presenting it on there. We've been coming across a lot of crazy stuff tonight. That shit was crazy. Watching Eddie, you know.
Yeah, that was Becky. That was Becky G.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Becky G, because I'd never seen some shit like that.
Becky
She
G
was
got
like,
the plug. Becky G, man. I don't know. I can't tell you where she got it, but she got it.
God
she
damn.
did a
got
good
it.
job. I was like, oh my god.
She's
I
looking
was
for
like,
that
Eddie
cab.
was
She's on the hunt. She told me she's looking for that cab.
Yeah, we're waiting for it, Becky G. Listen, you
I
guys
mean,
are
that's
doing
what we need.
wonderful.
We need some footage. We need some footage from the cab. You know, straight up. I mean,
Definitely.
for the night it happened, and it just when it pans that whole scene, that cab's there. That's a fact. So I would like to see, because he said it was at the stop sign. So all we need is them to pan right at that stop sign. If that cab's not there, then it's down the street, because he said he was right at the stop sign. That's what he said on this show. If the cab's not at the stop sign, Adi, that means, it was where we think it was, right where allegedly, and here's another thing. That's what you got to ask Marco. So if Marco was there, right, and they had to see the
point,
cab,
but I know
if
where
the
you're
cab
going
was
with
already
this.
there.
Exactly.
Well, it's not where we're going with it. I mean, if the cab was if they say the cab was already there, like 30 years later, can you guys remember if that fucking cab was there or it wasn't? Because you see how many cars park along that street. Like, I don't think a lot of cars park on that street. So, you would have noticed the cab. It just would have stuck out.
Definitely. If they were walking up that way, he would have definitely noticed the cab.
So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
And they
Listen,
said,
JFK, I just come
I
on
wanted
here
to say
real quick
this.
to tell you what a wonderful job you guys are doing, and everybody that's been giving you all this info and sharing all this info with you. You had my eyes tweaking when you talked about those O'Reilly notes. I'm like, oh shit, I can't wait to hear about that. And I'm on here because I want everybody to start following the Facebook page that was launched, Justice for Eddie O'Brien on Facebook. We're talking on there about maybe making standouts for Justice for Eddie O'Brien and Justice for Janet Downing. So if we can get people to go over there and join the page, then we could start doing standouts for Justice for Eddie and Justice for Janet. That'd be great. And also there's a page also over in the Instagram. It's called The Truth Behind Eddie O'Brien. And the more we raise awareness, now we have the platforms. We have not just the news. We have these platforms that we could start raising awareness to all the people out there on our Facebook platforms, on our Instagram platforms. If we can get these pages rolling and we can start doing standouts, that'll be great. That's why I just roll up on here and just, to tell you guys you're doing wonderful. You and Kev and everybody that's involved, Jay Brillin, everybody involved.
Yes. I mean, it's only getting better. And a big shout out Lisa McDonald and Paula Ferrari. So I mean, there's a lot of people that I have. Kat, she's in here too. There's a lot of people who I talk to on a daily basis, and we all, whether they know it or not, we're all collabed into this. And I talk to everybody else, and we talk to Big Ed himself. So we're getting a lot of information from the source. Be clear. And from Little Ed's going through Big Ed. So I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, we talked to Adi. It all started. Let me tell you how we got Adi. So Adi was on the Justice. It all started on that Eddie O'Brien case, and Jay Brilliant left a comment to Adi, and he forgot where he left the comment. So Jay Brilliant hits me up and says, "Man, I jumped on a thread on Facebook and I forgot where it was. I don't even know. I dropped so many comments. I don't even know the fuck it was. But your man J.F.K. knew where it was, because I'm out there creeping, right? So I knew where it was. So I jumped on the thread and I said, 'Hey, Adi, come on the JFK show.' And then obviously that notified Jay Brilliant, and then he jumped back on it, and then he got in touch with Adi, and we got Adi himself. And I think by getting Adi just launched everybody else to say, holy shit. And so you got to give Adi the credit where credit is due. He jumped on. You could say he's guilty if that's what you think. You think he did anything, or you think he didn't do it. But like I said, two things could be true, Adi could be a liar and Eddie could be guilty. I mean, you got to have an open mind for that. And, until we run the DNA, we won't know. But we do know he's a liar. And we do know, like Mitchie said on here, everything Adi says is false. So, usually when everything he says is wrong, usually that means something, right? So we'll see. We'll see. For sure.
And I saw Jay Brilliant put on the chat that he reached out to Marcos and he's not with it. He's not with it coming on here or something. He didn't want.
Well, he was the star witness. They said he was the star witness. He's the one who said, I mean, he even made the motion how he walked down the street on trial. Like he's the selling point. Like he came walking out like he was proud what he did. He didn't walk out like he was scared. He walked out like, ha ha, wait till you find what's in that house, motherfuckers. Like that type of mentality. So he was the star. He was the star witness. Yeah. Well, Marco now, I mean, where you at? I mean, your Brilliant's on him, and they're oh yeah, he's not playing games. I mean, he's 100%. Brilliant's not playing games. No games at all. Every day, Brilliant's he's working too. But I'll just tell you this. I'll tell you this. And what the duck is working. She just hit me up too. She said, I went back and checked my notes. Kevy was right. The report from the lab said the blood on the shirt and the picture of the grapes was listed as AB, as if it came from a single source, leading to you to believe that it was Janet's. But in her handwritten notes, it was listed as AB, meaning it was two different sources, someone with type A and someone with type B. But the defense didn't have the notes at the time.
That's right.
Holy shit, hold on a second, man. What the duck coming through with some shit, man? Holy shit, what the duck? God damn, I gotta drop the beat. What the duck ain't fucking around. Holy shit, what the duck? Thank you, Mama Duck.
Riley was scumbag.
Let me read that one more time for the people in the back. What the duck coming through, Mama Duck. Remember, what the duck? She's such a mama duck. I said this story before, that if you're walking with all your little ducklings in back of you and she's walking with her ducklings, all the other ducklings are going to follow her ducklings because she is the top dog. She is the mother duck. Listen, I went back and I checked my notes. Kevy was right. The report from the lab said the blood on the shirt in the picture of the grapes was listed as AB, as if it came from a single source, leading you to believe that it was Janet's because her blood's type AB. Would you believe it? But in her handwritten notes, it was listed as A, B, right? A, comma, B, meaning it was two different sources, someone with type A and someone with type B, but the defense didn't have the notes at the time. There was a comma between the A and the B in the notes. Would you believe it?
That shit's fucking wild to me. That's wild to me.
You got anything to say to the chat before we let you go, Unforgettable?
No, I just want to repeat. Everybody go find the Justice for Eddie O'Brien. I'll text it in the chat, so everybody watch out there. And Instagram, there's the truth behind Eddie O'Brien. And let's get these standouts started, and let's start raising more awareness within our communities. And on top of this, so we can free Eddie and we can get justice for Janet. So that's all I gotta say. Wonderful. You guys have all been doing a great job. The chat, the mod, everybody. You guys been doing wonderful. Just keep it moving forward like this, JFK. I look forward to your shows every fucking day. I be hitting you up on Facebook. I'm like, are you going to go on? Are you going to go on?
Yeah, we usually go on every night around 8:30. Obviously, it's Friday. We went on a little later today. But yeah, we're here for sure. And we're going to get...
I was at the skating rink with my kids, like, waiting for you to go on.
Well, you here now, girl. We're going to get the band back together. We're going to get Chimmy up here, you up here. We're going to, lighten the mood with a bedtime magic, maybe tomorrow night or the next. We'll see.
Definitely. You guys have a good night. I'll be on the chat. Everybody look out for that on the chat, the info on the Facebook page and the Instagram page.
All right. No doubt. We'll talk to you soon. All right, Unforgettable. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Unforgettable, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
I wanted to, we were talking at like, what the duck. I got, I don't know if you can kind of see this here. I just want to hold it up, but I mean, it's a...
You can't see it. Yeah, I can see the Commonwealth.
It's the Commonwealth of Mass.
Yeah.
It's a legit document. And these were the supplemental submissions to Cellmark Lab with a case number. It's in reference to Mary Kate McGilvary, which is the chemist. Billing heading, District Attorney Thomas Riley, Middlesex County District Attorney's Office. The type of incident was listed, a fatal stabbing. MSP crime lab number over in Somerville. The victim, Janet Downing, the suspect, Edward. Case information, and this is highlighted in a big all caps. This one word is all caps. It says, please hold the enclosed blood-stained fingernail clippings from Janet Downing until you receive authorized from D.A. Thomas Riley or Mary Kate McGilvary. Upon receipt of authorization, please conduct PCR testing on these specimens. We will inform you as whether we'd like the samples to proceed collectively. The left clipping and right clippings, or whether we'd like each clipping tested individually. Thank you for your assistance. I mean, and this is just a fact that this DA is overseeing all this testing, you know, which is, in my eyes, I mean, this Tom Riley, man, I'll tell you, he like I said, I mean, he took on this case for some fucking reason. And this guy pushed his weight right through. Almost like, you know, who the fuck's going to question him, you know?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Well, listen, Kev, listen, man, we've been rocking. We're at the 3-hour point, man. We're going to wrap this up, man. We appreciate everybody coming on. We appreciate everybody that called in. We appreciate all you guys' attention. Jimmy T, of course, coming up here, breaking it all down. We'll be back tomorrow, anywhere between 8:30 to 9:30. We're going to try to go on earlier because we know that little Eddie gets to listen because shooting informants, not drugs, they got something going on over there, so he'll be listening through him. So we're gonna try to get on a little early tomorrow night, at like 8 o'clock or something. We're gonna try, can't promise. But yeah, we're gonna be back at it. We're gonna put together another dope stream. We're gonna figure it out. Jay Brilliant, I just seen your message at 11:30 saying you wanted to come up. I already told you, Jay Brilliant, you got the link, you could just come up. You're part of the show, brother. You just hit the button, you come up. But we're wrapping this one up. Jay Brilliant tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow, Jay. You already know. But yeah, with that being said, I go by the name of J.F.K.
And I go by Kevy Kev.
And I appreciate everyone, last one of y'all. And remember one thing, I want to see all green in the chat.
Let's go, people.
Yeah. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on we all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on
Static Selector.
Yeah. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on we all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history on
Static Selector.
Yeah. We all reppin' for Boston, man. All green, everything. Brought up, we were bleeding green. You ain't got our history
I just wanna chill and twist the lie. Catch stunts in my 745. You drive me crazy, shorty. I need to see you and feel you next to me. I provide everything you need, and I like your smile. I don't wanna see you cry. Got some questions that I gotta ask, and I hope you can come up with the answers, baby. Girl, hey, it's easy to love me now. Hey, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me, girl? It's easy to love me now. Now, would you love me if I was down and out? Would you still have love for me? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? If I got...
Yeah. Yo. Summer of 1995, hot night in July. Why did Janet have to die? This is the story of Eddie, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The system is petty, juvenile law and politics so deadly. 15 years old, known as Big Lovable Teddy. Janet Downing, 42 years old, what's the motive? Killed in her home, young mother devoted. Eddie went in the house, the door was open. She was on the kitchen floor, laying there frozen. Eddie claims this was not what he planned to see. A man with a mask grabbed him. Be quiet. I will kill your whole family. Eddie left the house, ran up the street. Around the corner, washed up in the bathroom at Burger King. Janet was stabbed multiple times. Rest in peace. It was a gruesome murder scene. I agree. Eddie went to his work, said he got jumped, but never said a thing. What? About Janet lying there lifeless, his friend's mother from across the street. Shh, he was in the house. But Janet had a brother-in-law she kicked out for selling drugs. Said if anything ever happened to her, it's him you bring up. The night of the murder he showed up, was acting suspicious in the front yard. Gina in Virginia says he was looking for his keys. It was humid and muggy, but we were showered and neat. He was a cab driver looking for his key. Looking for a key to one of the cabs in the fleet. Yes. How did he know something happened on that street? Eddie says he is innocent, and the cab driver did it.
Who do you believe?
Believe.
DNA under Janet's fingernail unidentified. Who do you believe?
Come on, come on.
This is the story of Eddie, 15 years old.
Life in prison.
This is the story of Janet, life taken and stolen.
For no reason.
It was the summer.
July 1995.
Do you all remember?
30 years ago, why she have to die?
15 years old, locked in a cage of murder that he always denied.
Let's go. Summer of 95.
Did you hurt Janet Downing?
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
Eddie O'Brien denied the murder both before
And then did you stab her?
No.
You didn't hurt Janet Downing?
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
Eddie O'Brien denied the murder both before and after the drugs were administered. The prosecutor says it means nothing. He says O'Brien told different stories.
Yeah. Summer of 1995, hot night in July. Why did Janet have to die? This is the story of Eddie, Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The system is petty, juvenile law and politics so deadly. 15 years old, known as Big Lovable Teddy. Janet Downing, 42 years old, what's the motive? Killed in her home, young mother devoted. Eddie went in the house, the door was open. She was on the kitchen floor, laying there frozen. Eddie claims this was not what he planned to see. A man with a mask grabbed him. Be quiet. I will kill your whole family. Eddie left the house, ran up the street, around the corner.